What's up, Collider Live? It's a Tuesday. It's July 30th?
Yes.
It is. We're almost at the end of July. Summer. This is like the point in the summer when I would start fearing the back-to-school commercials coming on television.
Oh, yeah. They're already there.
Yeah, it's the worst.
What?
Yeah.
I love back-to-school shopping.
What?
Of course you
What?
It's the most... girls and guys do different things. But
Oh my God, I got a new pencil case every time.
I got
all
nerd.
the new, like, cool erasers and binders.
Big nerd.
Whatever.
Binders.
For those wondering what's going on, Christian Harloff is not here today.
No.
He had some personal stuff to attend to. I'm Josh Macuga, behind the mic, joined by Mark, Reilly, and Roxy Striar.
That is so true.
We are your
Josh.
We're your crew here today. We have an amazing guest coming up at the 11:30 hour. One Kelley Carter.
Yeah.
You guys know her from the Lion King red carpet. She's an Emmy award-winning journalist. We've got all kinds of fun questions for her. We're going to talk all kinds of movie news. And I will say I just tweeted the first picture of the Wild Berries going to Arizona for
Nice.
the Schmodown.
Whoa.
So that, like, stay tuned. You guys get your tickets. And also, hopefully, Ken Knapsack and I are planning something special for the Friday night of that weekend.
Ooh.
What does that look like?
Well, I don't know. We don't know yet.
Oh.
But we are in talks. We are planning
Like an
some fun
afternoons
things.
kind of thing?
Perhaps. Yeah. Perhaps.
My favorite podcast.
Yeah.
So you said you don't want a manager, which is fine.
Yeah.
But just curious, if you were forced to have
Like
one.
an actual manager to book me jobs? Sure. I'd love a great manager
no,
like
no.
Management 360 or
No,
you know, something like that.
wild berries.
Oh, yeah. We don't need a manager.
But if you did, would be me.
I don't know. You seem too serious sometimes.
Okay, all right. Well, that's great. Okay,
I mean,
fine. Who would it
like
be?
you take it way too seriously. Well, we'd have to go with Ricky, who's like supposedly our manager, but he doesn't really. He's like a hard guy to nail down as far as showing up to events. But it would have to be Ricky, or I mean, I guess we'd probably have to go with Finstock, like reunite the mega powers into the Wild Berries.
He's a good manager.
Yeah,
he
totally.
takes it very seriously.
No, not
too.
with the Wild Berries. Not with the Wild
I
Berries.
don't
he
like your
wouldn't.
game. What game
I
are you
mean,
playing?
you hang with winners, and you
I do
take
hang
it
with
way
winners.
you take it way too seriously. In the Wild Berries, we're not about
Should've put my
winning.
hair
We're about
different.
entertainment, and everybody knows that.
I like
And
to be entertained.
Listen,
Are
do we
you
try to
not?
win? Of course we do.
Yeah.
Do we? Do we? Not usually.
Do you honestly think you're going to win or lose?
When?
Arizona.
Well, we'll win.
You really think so?
Yeah.
I think you guys are going to win.
Yeah.
Well, I roll
I mean,
with
I think
winners.
Late to the Party's fantastic. They're great people, and I don't go heel on anybody. But I think it's going to be an absolutely fun competition. If you guys are going to be there, there will be fireworks, literally fireworks. If we get us kicked outside the venue because I lit off fireworks inside, that's what just happened. Tempe Improv, I'm sorry in advance.
That's the Schmodown.
Yeah, that's the Schmodown. I'm coming in hot. It's gonna be the wildest, no pun intended, but also pun intended, the wildest match in the history of the live Schmodown. And at this match, nobody from the other team will insult my wife's vagina. This I know. All right.
That was fucking crazy.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Amanda Macuga, not pleased.
No, I wouldn't be either.
Not
I would not be either.
Yeah. Did you go and see Hobbs and Shaw last night?
Tonight.
Oh, tonight. Nice.
Do one of you guys want to come?
So I'm going on Saturday with my father-in-law and my wife.
So that's a no.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I can't go tonight.
Oh.
But
It's the finale of The Bachelorette as well, so we have a 2-hour because we sat through the boredom that was last night. Here's the thing. Listen, I know ABC has a cash cow on their hands and they have to split up the finale into 2 episodes, but really and truly, you don't have to split it up into 2 episodes. It's like last night was just utterly boredom because you know that you're not getting anything out of it. You're waiting for the next night. So you just sat through the only cool part last night, which I can vibe with, I can get with, and I think you guys will go with me even though you didn't watch it, okay? So the one guy she's choosing with is this guy Tyler, who's supposedly now dating Gigi Hadid. There's all these right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
But that kind of happens sometimes. Like Sarah Hyland's fiance
is
I don't
Wells.
watch, but he was
Yeah.
wait, catch me up on this.
Okay. She's down to 2.
She's down to 2.
Tyler and
Jed is his name. Jed.
And there's
Jed.
rumors that one
Tyler
of
and
them's
Jed.
dating somebody else.
Right now that he's dating Gigi Hadid.
Well, think
We
about
know
it.
so
This
they
happened
could-
4 months ago.
Right.
Yes,
So
yeah.
I got it. I got it. I'm with you now.
I'm sure Cody and Alex are zoning out over there.
I just heard them laughing,
Just
so I don't
totally
think
giggling. Yeah.
Probably not zoning as much as making fun of us, which I'm fine with.
I'm totally down with it.
Finger guns.
So you've got Tyler, who my wife blurted out 2 weeks ago. She's like, I go to the fantasy suite with him, and I'm like, all right, babe.
Wait, can you pull up a picture?
Take it
Sorry, I know
easy.
you guys are doing other things in
Pull
there.
up Tyler Bachelorette. I think his last name is Camden, but I'm not sure about
Maybe
that.
just Tyler Bachelorette.
Yeah, Tyler Bachelorette. Go to image us. Like I mean he's like tall and he speaks like he's just like, oh bro, like I love Hanna. Hanna's and he's like a mix between.
Wait, is he the one who's rumored to be dating
Gigi Hadid? Because he says in his thing, they give him professions a lot of the time.
Right.
And my friend Candace Thompson has this amazing joke. She's like, I learned something on a dating app. Entrepreneur means poor, and that's. Basically, half these guys, it says like entrepreneur, but his says general contractor, Jupiter, Florida. Now, from what we understand, he's a model and an actor, and he's like lives in New York. He doesn't actually live in Jupiter, Florida.
Okay.
But he is, and then there's this other guy.
I mean, he's definitely handsome.
Yeah. And then there's this other guy, Jed, and you can pull up a picture of Jed. Jed's head looks like that exploding emoji. Like his head goes out. He kind of looks like Groot, like baby Groot with his hair. He does. He looks like baby Groot. Yeah, a little bit.
Who do you think she's going to choose, Jed?
A lot of people think it's Jed, but here's the.
I see it.
Pull up the third at the top. The third, that one right there. Like he's got kind of like a widening head.
He's more my type than Tyler.
Tyler, yeah, sure.
Physically.
Okay. But here's the thing. Jed is a country music star, and the rumor going around was that Jed was just on the show to promote his music, which, I mean, kind of makes sense, right? I mean, none of these people
Did he get to play on the show?
Oh, yeah. He's played like a bunch of songs. Like he played this one live.
That's
the one was actually decent. I didn't mind it.
That's the one episode I watched when they were all walking around in their underwear, and he came out with a guitar.
Totally.
Okay, that was
yes.
Got it. Got it.
I think the song was like, I'll be a Mr. Right Girl. And then he was like playing in a song. But he's supposed to be a country music star.
Wait,
He
made
should have
that
done
song
the
up?
booty song.
He should have done the booty song.
Oh.
You're right.
And he should have claimed it as his own.
Yeah. Well,
Does she have a back up the booty?
there it is.
She does have quite the booty. I will say. I miss that song.
That song,
really do.
that's why I brought
love
it up.
that song.
We had to get it on here.
It's fantastic. So last night, Tyler is a general contractor, so the parents appreciate him, and then they got to Jed, and they basically just peppered Jed with questions about how he's going to support Hanna as a musician, and really made him feel like crap. Like, are you going to be able to make money to support my daughter, who's a pageant queen? And the dad's like, I work 14 to 16 hours supporting this family, and I was kind of like, well, why? And the mom doesn't. I don't know. Again, you felt really bad for Jed. So that was the only thing that was entertaining last night was that. The parents were just attacking Jed because they don't know if he's going to make enough money to support Hanna.
Is the other homie rich?
Well, he's a general contractor. He doesn't have a job that's a musician, even though underneath he's a model and an actor or whatever. That's all kind of what that is. But here's the thing: tonight is a 2-hour finale. You had some live stuff. You had Peter the pilot crying on live TV about Hanna, like the lamest.
Wait, why do you think he's with Gigi, Tyler?
I don't know. Amanda knows all these rumors.
Oh.
She works at Show Me Your Moo Moo, and they all go on the rumor mill, and they know exactly what's happening with all the Bachelor contestants. And a lot of the Bachelorette contestants and Bachelor contestants, those girls wear a lot of Show Me Your Moo Moo, so they become friends with a lot of these girls. They know a lot of the inside information. You get these girls a couple Aperol spritzes at the waterfront on a Sunday. They blab to their friends, and the friends bring them into Moo Moo, and yada yada yada.
They're
this is how I
dialed
know
in.
things.
They're
Correct.
dialed in, yeah.
They are 100% dialed in.
Got
It
it.
would be like having a person working at Marvel who was a raging alcoholic, and we met him at the smokehouse every night, and he was like, "Guys, I got great news. David Harbour is Captain America." You're like, "Oh, put it on Collider Live!" Right? Like that's exactly what Amanda is getting
Can you
at.
imagine if David Harbour was Captain America?
I'm not into it.
Yeah, me neither. But
I like it.
I don't know. I just came up with a.
Maybe Hulk.
Yeah, I could see Hulk.
Hulk smash.
Thanks, Roxy. Appreciate it.
Gronk smash.
No, we are not talking about that.
Because I had a new protein bar this morning, and my mouth tastes like legitimate feet.
Ooh.
So I just want to let you guys know
good.
that.
Should we promote the brand here on the show?
I don't know what it is, but I'll
Was
tell
it
you what.
called Fart Potato?
I'll tell you why it's actually interesting.
Okay.
It was called Fart Potato.
Oh, nice.
But it's also interesting because this is the same protein bar that I had when I was with Christian Harloff. A month ago, and I went into the gas station with him, and we got a protein bar, and mine was expired, and I didn't know that until after I ate it, and it was fucking delicious.
Oh,
and
nothing
then
like
I
a
saw
good expired protein
but
bar,
I saw
huh?
it was expired, and I was like, huh. So when I was at the store the other day, I saw the same protein bar, and I was like, I wonder if it's as good when it's not expired. And verdict's out, it's not.
Okay.
Expired one better than, and this tastes like in my mouth. It tastes like it's fizzing.
Oh, so protein bar is like a fine wine, better with age.
It's like bottle shock.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like you
Maybe.
have to let it expire because then those chemicals release and it makes it delicious.
Some tannins, if you
Some
will.
tannins.
No,
Good, yeah.
I want one of you guys to have the other half of this.
No.
To know my pain right now.
I think I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm good
the
too.
last time I had a protein bar, I had to go and get my EpiPen.
Oh
I feel
yeah,
like
this
I'm
is
just-
chocolate. You're
yeah.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
It probably has nuts of some sort.
Sure, they all
and
do.
seed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are like processed
So,
in a tree nut
mark it
factory.
is.
Yeah.
No, I no. I don't want it.
What if I say please?
No.
Should that be Christian's punishment for not being here today? He has to eat the other half.
Well, should we do it on air? Should we have Alex do it? It's his birthday.
Alex, you want to eat a foot?
It's called chocolate
flavored,
cake.
Yeah.
It's called chocolate cake, Alex.
Yeah.
Okay, go get. Where is it?
If you bring my backpack, it's half opened in a side zipper on my backpack.
Okay, gotcha.
Put a candle in it.
Also, huge news coming into Collider Live. Gigantic news. I mean, the biggest news we've had in, I don't know, like 3 hours. Cody's birthday tomorrow.
Mañana? Oh, he's such a Leo.
Birthday is tomorrow,
Wow.
guys.
Wait.
What?
Didn't Cody?
I literally whispered to you before the show.
Yeah.
Don't mention that it's my birthday.
Why is that?
Didn't catch that.
He didn't.
Cody, why?
I thought you did. That's hysterical.
Cody, why?
It was the whole thing where you're talking about forgetting everyone else's birthday, and it'd be funny if everyone else forgot mine. It was a whole thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, Cody, you know what, dude? I don't like to bury the lead, and I want to get out ahead of this story.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow, I want the craziest birthday celebration for Cody ever. Because you know what, Cody? This is your last birthday before you have a child. And then once you have that child, now other people are going to be like, oh, he's a dad. It doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
This is your last birthday as a man without child.
Cody, what are you turning? 27?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I
You're
pay attention
good.
to Cody.
Bang. Nice.
Florida.
So young.
Yeah.
That's crazy because if your wife goes into labor early, they'll have the same birthday.
That is crazy, too.
And her birthday is August 3rd. So there's
Whoa.
also another opportunity.
You're a whole family of fucking Leos?
August is weird, man.
What?
Yeah, it's a weird
This
month
is
for us.
weird.
Leos are the best.
Are
That's
they?
such a great thing.
What does that mean?
They're just so like courageous and loyal and good. Leos are so good at their
Julie's
core.
a Leo.
Leos are
August
amazing,
19th.
and
Based solely on the only Leos that I know being Cody, Alex, and Dad,
and Julie and Cody's wife.
Cody's wife.
Didn't Dorian just have a birthday?
Dorian, don't put him
I
in
don't
there.
know.
He won't take.
But
He
here's
won't
what I'll
tag us
say:
on tweets anymore.
Grammy and Papo, both Leos, married 71 years.
Whoa.
Cody, you're living the high life.
No way.
Yeah.
Cody, there you go. Big
All right.
time. Leo is a lion, correct?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
true.
Big Leonardo DiCaprio fan. We talked about that yesterday.
Isn't it kind of shitty that some of us get lions and some of us have fucking crabs?
What are you, Pisces?
No, I'm a crab. I'm
What's
a
that?
Cancer.
Oh,
It
Cancer's
looks
a
like
crab?
69, and it's called Cancer, and it's a crab.
Yeah.
It's all across the board. I got fucked. 69, all right, make all the jokes. Cancer, oh, you're such a cancer to society.
Right.
Crabs. She has crabs.
Well, that's a tough one.
Like,
Yeah.
where am I living my best life?
I don't really understand the whole signs. I mean, I
don't
get
either.
it.
Well-
I get it, but I don't subscribe to the fact. Like, I got one of those star charts done for me one time based on solely the fact that I wanted to hook up with a girl that I liked in New York. She's like, come get your star sign with me. We only made out. It was the
Wait, did
worst.
she do your star sign?
No, we went to like a star person. I don't know what they're called.
Astrologist?
Sure. There you go.
Cool.
And
Palm reader.
we went, and she was like, I don't
Tarot
know.
cards.
She's like, I need to know the exact minute you were born. So I had to
Yeah,
call my
10:36.
mom.
Because she needs to know
PM.
she needs to know your moon, your rising, and your sun star. I mean, sign.
This is
So
all
it's
just
obviously-
gibberish at this point, right?
Wait, what is your sign?
My Aquarius.
The age of
we go.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
You're the
age of
900th person in a row that has done
Aquarius.
that to me
Okay.
since when I say that.
Imagine having the name Roxanne.
Yeah, that's a tough one too.
Right.
Yeah.
Exhibit A.
Yeah. Yeah.
And being named after a prostitute. Again, thank you, Bear.
Man, you are really going for it. You are 4 for 4 today.
Jeez.
69. Nice. Cancer. Whoops.
What
Crab.
up?
Slut. Roxanne Hooker.
Prostitute.
What?
But I don't have to put on the red light
You don't.
anymore. So I'm
But
a reformed hooker.
the funny
Thank
thing-
you.
The red light came on.
And there's a
I
red light.
literally look up going, they're going to do it, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
Yep.
Funny.
And
Cody.
you have red light behind you as well. Have you ever been to the red light district in Amsterdam or anything like that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, so have I.
Yes,
You?
I have.
Nope, never been to Amsterdam.
Let me tell you a really funny story about the red light in Amsterdam. Okay.
Are you going to be
Oh, boy.
honest?
Be 100% honest.
Okay.
So I was doing my study abroad. I was living in Rome at the time, and Ryanair, which is that cheap airline that everybody knows in Europe, which is fantastic.
Almost kills you every time,
Totally.
but gets you there somehow.
It's the spirit of Europe,
Nope.
I think. Yeah.
I can't do
No,
it then.
it's really cheap.
So yeah, oh my God. So they started offering this direct flight from Rome to Amsterdam. So I was like, dudes, we got to go. I'm not going to take a train
Like
up there,
40
whatever.
bucks.
It was like 50 euro. Yeah. So we actually took like we flew to Paris and then went to Bruges and then like got our way up to Amsterdam, but then flew home, right? Anyway, so we get to the train station in Amsterdam and we did not have a place to stay. And so we get off the train station and this guy's like, hey, you guys need a place to stay? And he had like a New York accent. And I was like, yeah.
Yo, you Americans? You want to stay?
He spotted you guys. So,
Oh my God, mile away. I was just like, la 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 la, I'm high.
I got a perfect bathtub for you where I can steal your kidney.
Totally.
Okay.
So, no, that's exactly what this was like.
So freaky.
So the
Your
guy's
mind
like,
went
you guys
there.
need a hostel, like a hotel? And we're like, kind of whatever's the cheapest. We're only here a couple nights. Like, I got you. Perfect. Nothing big. So we start following this guy down this alley by the train station.
Dude, this is how Hostel started.
This is how Taken starts, right?
All of it.
Yes. Every trip, everything that your parents warn you about not doing in Europe.
Yes.
Okay? We did. We did it. We did it. Like, we got off the train station, and the first thing we did was buy weed. And then we meet this shady guy who starts walking us, and all of us, at one point I look at my buddy, and he's got his fists clenched, because we're just making a bad decision here. Finally, we start walking. We're in the red light district, okay? So we're walking through, and he's like, here's where you're staying. We were staying above, like, the prostitute windows in, like, a hotel/hostel.
Nice,
right?
okay.
There was 7 of us guys there. We go in this place. There's 7 beds in this bedroom. We're like, whoa, well, this is perfect. Holy cow. Totally lucked out. It was like 40 euro a night. There was a couple prostitutes in the lobby just chilling out. They're like, we have a continental breakfast in the morning. I was like, we'll be passing on the continental breakfast. So we go out that night. And we're like partying and, whatever. We're out till really late. And we come back and there's just 7 more dudes sleeping in our room. So now they have like 14 beds jammed in this room.
Oh, they put other beds in there.
Other beds in there.
Oh my God.
And yet there was 13 beds, 14 total dudes. So me and another buddy had to split a twin bed together, like snuggling with your buddy.
Wonderful.
The next morning I woke up, went to the front desk, and I was like, hey man, like, why did you put all those beds in the extra room? He's like, bro, we got to make money here. They could have warned us about that. No big deal. I woke up and so we went out that Saturday night. Sunday morning, woke up and those guys were gone and stolen 2 of our bags.
Of course. But
You sure the prostitutes didn't take them?
Well, they could have. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
well, at least your
might
kidney
be-
wasn't stolen.
Correct. We didn't lose a
So,
kidney, but it was great. It was a great
There's
time.
Yeah. Yes or no? Any of you guys partook in prostitution?
No. Actually,
Really?
no. Yeah.
None of the people we were
I think we were very scared and also very, very high. And
yeah.
on mushrooms the whole time.
So when I went to Amsterdam, the first thing I did when we got off the train was also went and purchased a ton of mushrooms.
Yes.
And I had taken mushrooms in the States a couple of times, but they were dry, and in Amsterdam they're wet, and the conversion was confusing to me because I was very high.
Sure.
So whatever I did, I really fucked up so bad. And yeah, I was definitely so high. And we went to the park, and there was all these kids running around, and I just started profusely vomiting for 2 hours. 2 hours vomiting, screaming about these clowns that were running around me in my head, and called my fucking dad.
Oh my God.
Which is what I always do when I get high, because
I'm
he's
so
a
glad I'm
rock
not your
star.
father.
Oh yeah. I'm like, Dad, you understand these clowns are trying to murder me? I'm on so many mushrooms. I'm in Amsterdam. He's like, yo, suck it the fuck up. It's gonna go away really fucking soon. Just don't be a little bitch about it. And I was like, okay, Dad. Okay, Dad. Like,
Your dad needs to be the dad on Euphoria at some point. I mean, my
he's like,
goodness.
stop
watched
being
2 last night.
Stop being a little bitch. And my friend had to take me back to the hostel. I was laying in bed, like flipping the fuck out for 10 hours or something. It was brutal.
We were staying. The cool thing about this hostel, though, that we were staying at, besides getting robbed and more than likely probably getting our kidneys stolen, I think I have both mine still.
Yeah.
We were right by this place called the Cannabis University. Which was like they were growing and learning strains of things. And you went in there and they had those, like, they start a fan and they just blow the weed in your face. So you're not actually taking, like, you're not smoking it. They're just, like, blowing your face. Like, how do you feel now? And I was like, guys, I haven't felt anything for 2 days. I don't know what I'm supposed to get. Like, it's kind of like you meet a sommelier, right? And they're like, what do you taste in that wine? I was like, red? And what do you taste in that one? White. I don't.
Great.
It's good.
Yeah, full-bodied, little strawberry maybe, some nutmeg in there on the afterflow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Mark Reilly. Mark Reilly, captain of
I
wine
just
tasting.
made
I just
all
gave
of
you
that
the
up.
most judgy face.
I know you did.
Just done with it.
Okay, so before we get into some news, and we've got some fun stuff under consider the videos and weirdness and other stuff portion of the rundown.
That's
Mark
what we
Reilly-
do.
Mark Reilly spends a lot of time in this rundown. I don't think he gets enough credit day in and day
Thank
out.
you, Josh.
Wait, where's the nonsense?
It's under here.
I got some nonsense, guys.
Oh, do you,
Ooh,
Cody?
what's your nonsense?
Alex here has the protein thing that you guys talk about. I'm going to narrate through here.
Wait,
He's
but I want to
taking a
make sure
bite.
it's the right one. It's a circle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right, he's taking a bite.
Happy birthday.
He's going for it. Alex, any reactions
It's
out there,
fine at
buddy?
first. Wait till that
He's
aftertaste.
contemplating. He's nodding.
He's nodding.
Tastes like a good protein bar.
No.
He
Okay.
likes it.
Yeah, I want you to eat
Oh.
the whole thing, and I want you to talk to me in 20 minutes. And go through what
Well,
I'm
now
going
you're
through.
going full peer pressure. Like we thought this was a bit. Now you're like, eat the thing, shut your mouth.
Yes. Yes, that's what I'm doing.
Does it taste like feet?
No, not at first.
Not at
Does it
first.
taste like feet, Alex?
No, it doesn't.
He says
Okay.
it does not.
Could you give us some earthy tones, perhaps? Go full wine tasting on this protein bar if you
Yes.
don't mind.
It's good. It tastes like chocolate.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy birthday.
Alex, refined.
Yeah, I mean it's good.
Well
It's
done.
like any other protein bar I've had before.
Just wait. Just
No.
wait till your mouth tastes like
Alex,
fucking butthole.
update
like
us
Having
at
coffee also.
update us at the bottom of the hour here at 10:30. It's 20 after 10 here on Collider Live on a Tuesday. I'm your host Jimbo here with the gas and Blondie. It's your hot morning takes. Okay, so I watched something last night. I watched something last night.
Wasn't that thing?
No.
Oh wait, I forgot who you were for a second.
No. Okay. Have you guys heard of this show called Love Island?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, you have.
Uh-uh.
You
Yeah.
haven't?
Does,
Reality show?
Yeah, it's a reality show.
Okay.
So
Everybody's talking about Love Island, Mark.
Yeah. Okay. So, Love Island. Basically, let me pitch Love Island to
Okay.
you. Okay. They're on an island.
Okay.
Got that one, Cody?
By the
Did you
way,
put that in there?
By the way, it's on 5 nights a week.
5 nights a week on
So-
CBS for an hour.
Okay. Okay.
Now, here's what happens. During the day, they film it, and then they broadcast what happened during that day. Because you're there in Fiji, so I think they're like 16 hours ahead or behind us. I forget how time zones work sometimes.
Okay.
Okay. So it's basically somebody pitched it to me like Big Brother meets The Bachelorette meets something else, right?
Okay.
But what happens is, and I don't know how Big Brother works because as a really good friend of Roxy, I refused to watch this show.
Great, thank you.
So the people that we usually watch Bachelorette and Bachelor with, they were like, we started watching this Love Island and it's kind of addicting.
Okay.
And I will 100% agree with this because Love Island are all the the trashy rejects from the Bachelor, Bachelorette on an island.
Oh, boy.
And they're all like, personal trainers or real estate agents. There's no other professions in between there. Because there's no other really profession.
Entrepreneur?
They would let you go
Okay.
to an island for a few months.
Just to shoot. Okay, so here's what happens. So they have to couple up, and then America votes on an app of who to like kick off the island or who to keep or whatever. And so these couples either they like vote 2 people that weren't a couple, and then now there's people left. And then they start introducing more people onto the island. So you're like, oh, I think I like Roxy. Oh,
Thank
but
you so much.
but Annie just showed up on a jet ski and she is smoking hot.
Okay.
Now I got to somehow
Fuck
trade
Annie.
Roxy to Reilly so I can get with Annie. And but here's the funny part too. Have you watched this at all?
A little bit.
So
I've tuned
human
in.
beings are currency here.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Now here on Bachelor and Bachelorette, it's very catty or very dude I don't like this guy. In
No,
this
they're
one,
kinda down.
they're all best buds.
Yeah.
They're all like hanging out with each other. Like, I used to like Kira, but now I don't think I like her anymore. And the new girl that just showed up, she's kind of like got tattoos on her lower back, and I'm like kind of into that.
Okay, did you not watch Spouse House on TLC?
I will imagine that you know the answer to that.
So yes.
So that's a yes.
Spouse House did this even better.
But they were married.
No, you had to. If you didn't get married, you couldn't stay in the house. It was seriously unbelievable. If you didn't get engaged, you had to leave the house essentially. And
How long did they
but
have to get engaged?
Instead of us voting, the people in the house voted. So like if you. Every week they eliminate people, and if you're married, you're safe, and if you're not, you're not. 2 couples got married on the show, like 6 got engaged. It's been a year, none of them lasted.
Of course.
Literally the best. Nobody watched it. This is what's the problem with so many networks, because how are you going to find this on TLC?
No, yeah, you don't know.
But if this had been on CBS, you would have watched it. I need more people to go back and find Spouse House.
Now, Spouse. Here's the thing that's getting me with Spouse House is that I think my parents would be disappointed if I went on The Bachelor or Bachelorette. Bachelorette. Okay, like they'd be just
Right
like,
now,
kinda,
yes.
like you're competing for. Well, yeah, because I'm married
Yeah,
and that's
right.
weird. But like, let's just say when I tried out years back, had I gone on that, I think like my parents had been like a little embarrassed. It's really whatever.
I can't believe that you tried out and didn't make it onto the show.
I don't think I'm good looking enough. I don't
You,
think I
first
have
of all,
a-
you're very good looking, Josh. But,
That is-
but
yeah.
you also have a
Listen to
killer
Roxy.
personality. So I'm just
Yes.
surprised that they didn't take you. Like, were you single at the time or
Yeah,
no?
I was single.
So they looked into you and they found that
Well, I think the other thing
Wild.
that they looked into was that I
your
do
profession.
this
Yeah,
as my
that's
profession.
probably why. That's probably
Well,
why.
'Cause the guy
missed
liked me.
opportunity for the Bachelor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, I think my parents would have been disappointed in that one.
Did you ask them?
No. I would. It's way easier to ask forgiveness than permission, especially with my parents. Right? That's how I lived my entire life. That's why I was always in trouble.
Unlike me, who called my dad when I'm on
when I'm
shrooms.
mushrooms. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. 2, I think my parents would be really disappointed if I went on Love Island. 3, I don't think my parents would ever welcome me back home if I went on Spouse House. That's how I look at these shows.
Oh, because also imagine calling your family and telling them they had to come to the house because you were getting married.
Oh, jeez.
And they have to decide whether to show up and support the wedding or not be at your wedding.
Oh, man. I mean, this is coming from a guy that's only brought 3 girls home from Los Angeles since I've been here.
3.
Name
3.
them.
Okay.
You can interview him for a one-on-one. Okay, so I brought one girl home. My mom called her a tramp.
Oh,
College?
shit. That's right.
No.
You just told that story.
Since I've lived here, right?
Okay. Oh, okay.
In college, I didn't really date any girls seriously.
You
One
had
girl,
no college girlfriend.
No, like I dated one girl like on and off, mostly throughout college, like for like a month here and there. But for the most part, we were never really super serious. And then, so since I moved to LA, I brought one home. She called her a tramp.
Did that go well?
No, she left early, and then we broke up. She
Oh,
left.
she left during the weekend.
She paid for a new flight and left.
Did you stand up to your mom
That's
or no?
rough.
No.
Okay.
Mostly because I want to stay in good grace with my family when I
Yeah.
was girlfriend.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like I tried to, but then I was like, I don't know, I was kind of drunk. Anyway.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, she might have been a little trampy.
If I had
She
gone,
had a lot of tattoos, and tattoos in my house, and I know this is very close-minded, and I mean, I've said my piece about neck tattoos not being a hireable look, per se, is that tattoos in my family, we were I grew up very conservative Catholic, so tattoos are a sign of disrespecting of the body.
but that's so interesting because I'm Jewish, and tattoos you're not even allowed to be buried in a Jewish cemetery. I didn't know Catholics had anything against
think
tattoos.
it's-
All of my Catholic friends have rosemary beads around their arms.
Rosemary, rosary.
Oh,
You know what? Rosemary, though, put it on the
what's it called?
rosary.
Say it again. What's it called?
Rosary.
Rosary.
Rosary. Those are the beads.
But if you put rosemary
Jewish.
in the rosary,
Who the fuck
then
smells
you have a
Smells great.
delicious
Who's-
smelling rosary.
Who's Rosemary?
As a person. Rosemary,
Rosemary's person. And
Rosemary Clooney, George Clooney's mother.
Rosemary is also a nice herb that you can
Yeah.
put in some like
French fries.
Rosemary.
French fries.
Rosemary has nothing to do with the beads.
No.
No. The Virgin Mary is
Oh.
what you pray to from a rosary.
Oh.
Yes.
From a roseberry.
Here's your-
Wait,
here's
what
your
did you say?
Catholicism.
Roseberry?
The wild berries roseberry
One
flavor.
more time. Say it one more time.
Rosary.
Rosary. Rosary.
Rosary.
Well, okay, I've never gotten that right, I guess, because I've never said that word. Rosary.
Yes.
What the fuck's a rosary?
So the rosary is the beads that you're talking
Yeah,
about.
but why is it?
Wait, that's
there you go.
Did you mean rosary beads instead of rosemary beads?
Yeah, I did mean this.
Yeah, so can you type in
You know what
rosary
tattoos I'm
tattoo?
talking
Yeah,
about,
can you
yeah.
type in rosary tattoo? I think the Jersey Shore guy has one. Rosary tattoo. The first one that should come up.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, like that's what Roxy's talking about.
Yeah,
rosary
rosary.
beads on your arms and legs.
Rosemary.
So this girl that I brought home had a ton of tattoos, right? She didn't have any rosary beads tattooed on her, though my parents might have appreciated that a little more. She did have like a flaming cross on her arm, which I was like, Mom, it's a cross.
Does
She didn't
Amanda
go for
have
that.
no tattoos?
Always look at the bright side.
If she had one, would that have been a problem? For you,
I think if it was like
personally.
super big and visible, like this girl that I brought home's were.
No, if she had like a little wrist tattoo that said like peace. I don't know. Or like a heart or star on her ankle.
Yeah, I think
No,
that would
get
be
the
fine.
fuck out.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. I mean, the girl that I was dating had a rising phoenix on her whole back.
Did your mom see that?
Yeah, and that's why she called her a tramp.
How did your mom see her whole back? What
We
was
went
she
to like
wearing?
we went to the pool as like a family to like the pool, and, and she took off her shirt, and my mom was like, "Oh my god, look at that tramp stamp!" And the girl caught it, and she was like, "Excuse me," and mom was like, "I mean, if the shoe fits." My mom is a stone cold killer.
Your mom.
My mom was
Love it.
Listen, I'm the baby. I'm the baby of the family. Okay. There's only two of us, but my brother's always been straight as an arrow. Right. Like my brother never got in trouble in high school. I got in trouble all of the time. Right.
Amen.
Yeah.
Rosemary.
Totally. Rosemary.
Yeah, give it to me.
So, yeah. And then I brought another girl home. My mom was like, this one's too clingy, and she sounds weird because she had like a thick New Jersey accent. And then...
you met her out here, but she was a Jersey girl?
Correct. And then I
clingy,
brought home
like,
Amanda.
What was she doing that made your mom think she was clingy?
She was very PDA-ish. You know, like the PDA-ish girlfriend that's always like hanging on you and being like, sweetie.
That was my family with my ex-wife.
Okay.
They were like, we don't like her.
I
And that came later because I wish I had your family because everybody was like, yeah. And then after the divorce, it's like, we never liked her.
My mom's a mongoose. She'll sniff you out of the grass and eat your lunch.
What do you guys do when you went to the clingy girl's family? I remember, so Ben is very PDA-y. I'm very not PDA-y.
Okay.
And when we go to my family, I could have set the rules, but when we went to his family, he sets the rules. Was she trying to like make out with you in front of her parents?
Yes, a little bit, but
how uncomfortable is that?
totally
shit?
the worst. Like the dad's just kind of looking at me like, dude,
Cool,
yeah, cool. Whereas I can see, because here's the thing: when you go to Pittsburgh, if you're coming with me, and Amanda will be the first one to testify to this, and she should call into the show eventually, but she it is nonstop family. Like we have events planned the whole time because I only come back sometimes once a year, maybe twice a year, depending on when things are, right? And so when we go, it's not like a relaxing vacation to Pittsburgh.
Right.
Though, is America's greatest city. Everybody knows that. It's been ranked by U.S. News and World Report, and it's where the next Schmodown will be going.
Except for Sienna Miller.
Oh,
Correct.
it's crazy that
Thank
all
you.
of those things were
And I will
lies.
bring that up in a second.
Yeah.
So it's so you're around family the whole time, and I have a gigantic family. They're everywhere. So she always wanted to be PDA in front of like my aunts and my uncles and my dad. And my mom was just like not having it. After a while, she's like, it's too much. She was always like glomming on me, and even my brother.
This is the girl before Amanda? Or
Yes, this is going before Amanda. And then I brought home Amanda, and she was like, I don't know, she's kind of perfect, so we kind of nailed it.
There it is.
They had nothing wrong to say.
No, they loved her.
Wow, that's
my
the
mom
best
calls her
feeling.
Sweet Amanda.
Oh, she is very sweet.
She like writes her letters, Dear Sweet Amanda.
Wow. Damn. What?
That just got me.
That
That really
did?
got me. Yeah, I love that.
It's a beautiful
Yeah,
thing.
that is
really
really
lovely.
sweet.
My mom the other day, like Julie, we were talking about wedding stuff last night, and she like randomly was like, "Did your mom not like me?" And I was like, "Babe, you remember like 3 weeks ago we were leaving, saying goodbye to my mom, and my mom and Julie hugged her, and my mom went, 'I love you,' and I was like,
Well,
melted my heart.
there you go.
There you
How's
go.
wedding planning going?
Very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think we found a place.
Nice.
Yeah, Laguna Beach.
Damn.
The Goon. as they call
Oceanfront.
it. Do they call it the Goon?
They can now.
No one's ever
The
called
Goon.
it that, Rosemary.
And it's a very nice place. It'll be a oceanfront wedding and nice.
Holy crap.
If we can do this, I think we can pull it off. We're talking, and they allow dogs too. So this is good.
A doggy
and we get
wedding.
the whole place to ourselves.
You better
What
get
is
Leia
your
in some training.
guys'
Yeah.
stance on children? Have you decided if you're going to
Yeah, we
have
want
children,
children.
at the wedding?
Yeah. At the wedding, yeah. Well, now what are two questions here?
No.
Are
oh
we
my
having
God.
children
No, I
or
was not-
children
I
allowed
was
at the
not
wedding?
asking if you were having children. That was a little personal for right now.
We want to have children. That's not personal.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Children
I'll be a
al-
great aunt.
Are children allowed
at the
wedding? Yes and no.
There for the ceremony, out for the reception.
Yeah, my niece
We did the
and
same thing.
Julie's niece, we want a part of the wedding. We have some other kids that we're considering it.
But here's the thing that's tough. We did it for our wedding is you have the kids, flower girls, and you
Yeah.
got your ring bearers, and they're really cute, and they're walking down the aisle, and it's adorable. But then the parents want to have some fun, so
Yeah,
you
but
get
what
a
do you
sitter.
do
and
with the kids?
They went back and had a sitter.
Yeah.
You can hire a sitter in town and whatever. There's all kinds of services for
Yeah.
weddings. Wedding planners can do and find anything. They're problem
And
solvers.
this place has a casita off to the side that has TVs and rooms and everything, and we want it's nice. And so we could put the kids there and just put on a DVD, Moana or something, and
You guys both of you guys and your respective partners decided that you guys want kids.
yeah.
Did you guys have that conversation? Well, obviously you're not married yet. Did you guys have that conversation well before you got married?
Definitely.
Are
That's
you
a
guys
smart thing to
feeling?
do.
Are you guys feeling time pressure?
Yes.
Real quick.
Josh?
No, not so much yet. No. I mean, I think. Look, I mean, listen. You can't jinx anything. Knock on wood or whatever. But Amanda's family is so fertile, and so is mine. It's just
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to I don't want to jinx anything, but I think before you get married, you have to have that conversation.
You need that
I mean,
conversation.
About
Absolutely.
how fertile you are?
yes. Fertility, rosemary beads, that kind of stuff. Yeah, you get a fertility test on the night before your wedding in the Italian tradition. So you'd get a fertility test, and you make sure that and then it's a go. So the fertility doctor comes in, he blesses you with the rosemary beads, and that's that.
And then sprinkles a little rosemary on you.
Correct, and it's
That
good
helps
luck.
with fertility and,
Correct. And French fries.
fertility. Sure.
Fertility.
Wow.
Okay, so Love Island, I highly recommend.
Oh, okay.
Second, I highly recommend. Talking to you before the show, and I've said it on the show a couple times. The Loudest Voice. It's the miniseries on Showtime. It's 5 episodes in. Have you started watching, Cody?
No, I just played a loud voice.
I feel like the Loudest Voice is actually. No, I was thinking more like John Cena.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Correct.
he is loud.
Well, the crazy part is that Russell Crowe is wearing a John Cena outfit the entire time.
Does he really?
He's dressed like
During
John
what?
Cena. The entire show, he's dressed like John Cena.
It's a Russell Crowe show.
So Russell Crowe is Roger Ailes, and he's in this fat suit.
Oh,
Now-
I knew this. I knew this.
Right
'Cause
now,
I
a lot of
listened.
people had trouble with the fat suit at first, but I will say after 5 episodes, I've forgotten that it's Russell Crowe. It's like Michelle Williams, not as good as Michelle Williams and Fosse Verdon. I'm not even comparing.
You think
it
he's
close.
gonna get nominated?
It won't. It'll have to be for next year because this one didn't qualify for this year's Emmys. But I would imagine if he doesn't, it's kind of crazy. Now, the other actresses in it, you've got Annabelle Wallis from Peaky Blinders and that Tom Cruise Mummy movie, who's fantastic, and she plays like
Great
a
movie.
battered, like sexually harassed employee of Roger Ailes.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Naomi Watts plays Gretchen Carlson, and you're finally getting into her thing. Seth MacFarlane plays the head of PR at Fox News, and he's just crushing it. Like he's
I love
fantastic.
Seth
He may
MacFarlane.
get nominated too. He's that good. But here's the winner of this whole thing. Is Sienna Miller. Now, Sienna Miller plays Roger Ailes' wife. Now, I don't necessarily like Sienna Miller at all. And if you're from
Because-
Pittsburgh, you know why. She was shooting a movie called The Mysteries of Pittsburgh, and she was hammered at a bar, and a bouncer wouldn't let her in the bar. And she was like, well, I fucking care. This place is Shitsburg anyway. And that's when the
Yeah.
city was like, you're out. Goodbye. There's
Is there
many
video
bars.
of that, or how do you know
there's
that
definitely a story.
There was a story. Just Google Sienna Miller and Pittsburgh, and the
You guys
first
Google?
thing that comes up is like some random blog where this guy like fuck this,
Yeah.
and just goes into it.
Most like there's a ton of bars in
What the hell
Pittsburgh.
does this? Yep, that's
Yeah.
the first one. I didn't want to say it because it's the language little rough.
It's a rough. But Sienna Miller, then she apologized, but it's too late. And
Yeah, Pittsburgh
it's
doesn't
fool me
forget.
once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Boston would be the same way.
Same
There's
way.
just no way.
Most major cities would.
Don't come into our city.
Yeah. Listen, we're paying. You're earning money here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
same
can
with
take a
Tustin.
walk. Tustin is the same way.
No, I don't think people even know they're in Tustin.
But
So-
she plays Ailes' wife, and she's got like a fattish suit on. You know, they aged her into this thing, and she's actually very
Fattish.
good. Yeah, I mean,
Is
it's
it a
not.
fat
Well,
suit?
it's not compared to Russell Crowe's. It's not fat at all. I mean,
Has
he's
he picked-
gigantic. Yeah. You can pull up Sienna Miller Loudest Voice if you'd like, but I highly recommend the show. Now, listen,
Yeah.
is there points when it's leaning a little too left and and it does vilify him very? And I don't know how much of this is true, but it is based on a book, and they started introducing, I think, the author of the book. Yeah, there she is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's Sienna Miller. They make her look very.
Oh, it doesn't
homely.
even look like her. Yeah.
No, and there's Russell Crowe in the bald fat suit. But he is putting on a tour de force of a performance as Roger Ailes. Like it's really good because you could make this totally hammy and always be angry as Roger Ailes and whatever, but he's not doing that. He's actually doing a really really good job in this role. And am I taking like political views on this whole thing? No, I just think it's a very entertaining series, and I've always really enjoyed these true to life political stories. And again, I don't lean either way, whatever. But like stuff like John Adams, which
Do
is
you
a
really say
political
that? You
thriller.
don't lean either way?
No. I like to hear out issues. I like to hear your points of view, and I like to decide for myself. I'm right down the middle.
How are
I'm
you
only
registered?
with you.
Independent?
I'm actually registered Democratic, so I can vote in primaries. Because
Yeah.
if you register independent, you can't vote in primaries.
That's what I did. That's exactly what I did. I was
But if you
independent.
registered as Democrat, not a Republican, wouldn't you say you lean that way? Or no, you really don't?
I mean,
I would say that for me personally because I do and want to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Vote in the primaries.
I thought when you're registered as an independent, you can vote in a primary. Like you can vote for.
Not in the presidential primaries.
Yeah, but
Like
you
in the major primaries?
obviously vote for in the election.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But I mean, I think that I registered Democratic just to piss off my parents because they're registered Republicans. I don't know. Who knows?
My parents
same thing.
Republican. Yeah.
Again, I don't judge anybody. You can have your own opinions. I don't like to really get into politics in public because it's a lose-lose situation for everybody involved,
You're
especially
welcome.
on the internet. Now, that being said, I highly recommend Loudest Voice. Have you guys finished The Boys yet?
No,
Haven't started?
I'm on episode 7.
Have to. So I'm about
I haven't watched
to
it yet, though.
Okay.
sign up for Amazon Prime. Finally.
Okay.
I haven't done it. I know. I'm the
Roxy
only
called
person.
you out yesterday.
I know.
You said who doesn't have Prime?
I said
me.
who doesn't have access to a Prime. You don't have anybody that you use Prime from?
You know, I probably could find somebody, but yeah, I want to get it just because, I mean, now it's getting ridiculous because The Boys I know is going to be right up my alley.
also
And I
'cause-
want that Lord of the Rings series. That's
How do you
getting me
order
really
things?
I don't order things at all. And I'm not kidding you. And especially with, you have to understand, this past year with wedding planning and saving, I'm cutting everything out.
Yeah, but my Amazon saves me money because I order like my water bottles there and they're cheaper and they come to my door, and my toilet paper is cheaper and it comes to my door.
You should get on the wipes train.
That's probably what I'm going to start doing.
Yeah.
Then. Yeah, I just never got
Because
into
the
it. I don't
Amazon
know.
pantry and stuff, because there's not the overhead.
Yeah.
They're pretty inexpensive.
Don't worry,
we
I'll
ordered
remedy that.
A butt stuff.
A butt stuff?
We do
A butt ton of
We
stuff.
do
on-
butt stuff.
We do butt stuff here on Collider Live. Welcome
Good
on
to
a
know.
Tuesday.
That's a
Wait,
deep
speaking-
thought coming out.
Speaking
Yeah.
of butt stuff, checking in, Alex, how's your mouth taste?
Yeah.
Alex, how's it going, buddy? Oh, he's
He's on the
seems a little
ground.
pained right now. He's holding his stomach. He's walking out of the. Oh God, he's throwing up, guys!
No,
Alex, no! The trash can, Alex.
Alex, be honest. How does your mouth taste?
Alex, be honest. How is it? Alex, you gotta talk to me, buddy. We're on the radio.
Do you feel nourished?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah. How you doing?
Oh my god. Oh, Roxy, why would you do this to me?
It
Are you
tastes
serious?
disgusting, right?
Is it gross, Alex?
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
What's happening?
I don't
3 out of
know.
5 he gives it.
3 out of 5?
Yeah.
Oh, my mouth tastes disgusting.
Now,
after
before we
that.
get into some news, because there is a bunch of stuff we can get to, and after the break, we'll get into the Black Widow stuff, which is the title of the episode. Which is, if you guys are tuning in, you're like, "Where is Harloff? And why are we talking about Schmodown?"
Yeah.
He's has personal things to attend to today, so you got myself, Roxy, Striar, Mark Reilly on the phone in the 11:30 hour. Kelley Carter, we talked about her on the Lion King red carpet and how amazing she did, and we reached out, and now she's coming on the show, and
Yeah.
you know, if she has a
Can't
good
wait.
time, maybe we try and make this a regular thing because she's fantastic.
I have this feeling just based on my interaction with her.
Yeah.
She is so lovely.
Yeah.
She is so open. I think this show might go off the hook with her on it.
I love it.
And I can't wait.
I love it. Can't
Hey,
wait to have her.
Mrs. Carter.
She's the real Peggy Carter.
Tell
She's
me
the
where
new. She's
you've
the new
been.
Peggy Carter. I believe is the actual news that she's here to announce. Right?
That is
she's-
incorrect.
Oh, okay. Well, that's my bad. At Kelley L Carter on Twitter. So Kelley. You guys can tweet her. Say you're really excited to see her on Collider Live
Yeah.
in a few moments. Before we get to some news, I would like an update on Fart Potato.
Yes.
Do we have an update on Fart Potato?
I
What
left
is
the
what
link
is
in
our
there.
what is our subscriber base? What is our views, comments?
Okay. So we
Okay.
have 4,719 views.
Wow. That's a
330 comments.
Oh
Oh,
my
Lord.
God.
How many
What's
subscribers?
the
Okay,
sub say?
subscriber
438.
438.
Wow.
When he was at 1 something.
117 when we started. 116
right?
when we started, I believe.
Bat
Way to
one
go,
says, "I
Collider
want to see
Live."
the crossover with Little Bobby and the Juice."
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
Collider Live. Way to go. Way to support. What's this guy's name? Bushy Tail and Fart Potatoes
You know his
everywhere.
name.
I was about to say finger bang, and I knew that was wrong. That's
Yikes.
gross. Yeah.
Bushy tail.
I knew that was wrong. I
Bushy
should have
tail.
said it out loud, and I apologize.
Not all words need to be
Yikes.
said.
You're right. You're right. You are right.
Hashtag that's the show, right?
Riley, what do we got news-wise that isn't the Black Widow stuff?
Well, that isn't the Black Widow
Wait!
stuff.
Fuck!
Yes.
Cody got a haircut.
Oh shit! Thank
All
you,
right,
guys.
you're welcome.
I didn't put
For
that
his
in
birthday?
the rundown.
Okay.
He got
Did
a
you put that in
birthday-
the rundown?
I
It was
did
a
not.
birthday haircut.
It was a birthday haircut. He's not pleased with it. Please make sure you comment on his Twitter. We like your
That's
haircut,
what hats
Cody.
are for.
Yep. He wears a lot
We
of
don't want to
hats.
see.
Okay, so what do we got news-wise?
So we might, Ansel Elgort and Edgar Wright have been teasing now again, Baby Driver 2.
Really?
Yeah, so
I'm
this
into
time,
this.
yeah,
Me
they've been
too.
saying this for a little bit. They've been kind of hinting at it, but then recently he was talking to Josh Hurwitz in the MTV podcast, talking about all these things. He just got the script for Baby Driver 2. And spoiler alert, it's not going to be called Baby Driver 2.
Oh.
So we might get a different title. I don't know if it's going to be Baby Driver
Is it
or
adolescent
Adult driver. Oh.
Adult Driver. Who knows? I
Toddler?
think it's going to be fun, but...
Toddler driver.
And then Edgar Wright did tease. Somebody asked any Baby Driver sequel news you can talk about, and Edgar Wright said, we hope to make it real soon if all the planets align. But the script is done.
Okay.
And that's what Ansel Elgort was
Edgar
talking
Wright
about.
wrote the script.
And Edgar Wright wrote the script.
Wow.
So
This is big news.
He said, I think it's going to happen, the actor who's currently filming West Side Story. But he was tight-lipped about anything else. So
Ansel
all he said
Elgort.
was the follow-up is it's not titled Baby
Wait,
Driver
Ansel
2.
Elgort is the lead in West Side
Yes.
Story?
He's Tony.
Yes.
He's Tony in West Side Story.
If you're born Edgar, do you have to become a writer?
Yeah. I think so.
Like Alan Poe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's...
Edgar Allan Poe, Edgar Allan, American poet, born in 1809.
What is that?
You guys don't? I don't know. It was a song we had to learn in school. He wrote Doc Robert and My Darling Clementine. I don't know that first one.
I don't know this song. Boston School District. Really coming through. Okay, so he wrote a script for Baby Driver 2. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else other than the fact that Ansel Elgort has the script in his hands, or he doesn't have the
script in his hands is
Okay.
what he's saying. I've seen the script. So
So he's on the set of the musical, and he's in between takes. He's reading Baby Driver 2.
No, he's not. He's fully concentrating to make one of the best movies of all time.
you're
Definitely.
really excited about West Side
Oh
Story.
my God, I can't even explain.
Yeah. I'm a
Yes.
West Side Story guy.
So good.
I love it.
You can leave.
It's such a beautiful,
Come on, Josh.
horrific, beautiful love story.
It really is.
It's
one of my favorite musicals.
So many things are based off of West Side Story.
It's
I think
Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think so many things ripped off Romeo and Juliet to make West Side Story.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Can you name 3 things that are based on West Side Story?
Me, Reilly, and Cody.
Are based on West Side Story.
Thank you.
Yeah. When I was born, it was based on the true story of West Side Story. Mark Reilly comes in.
You went Sharks and Jets in the NICU.
I swear, it's why I broke my nose doing West Side Story in community theater.
Oh, did
Is
so
that
that
true?
was all. It's very true. It's
How?
very
Do
true.
that.
During the Rumble and in the fight choreography, I was in front of the stage, and my entire family had come to see us this time. And the guy got a little bit rowdy,
Juiced up.
He forgot the choreography where where I go, we get the hit, and he hit me, and I sprayed the audience with blood. Yeah. This
Did
really
they think,
happened.
Did they think it wasn't real at first?
I don't know. I think it was later that they looked down and went, what? And there was like little drops. It wasn't like a lot. It was just something. So then I had to go backstage because the Rumble ends Act 1. And then I played Action at the time. So Act 2 starts with
There's
me
a person
singing.
in the musical called Action.
Yes, Action. That's my nickname. That was
Cool.
the nickname of one of the Jets.
Got it.
And then in the play version, he sings G. Officer Krupke. So I had to go on to sing G. Officer Krupke. But my nose was popped. Right. So Jesus is right. So the nurse backstage popped it back into place.
Holy jeez, I wanted to look.
Put a thing on my tape on, and I went out and finished the show, and then I had to go to the doctor and get it fixed. So
Wow.
I will always have a special place in my heart.
How many times have you broken your nose?
That would have been the second time.
Wow.
When
How
I
many
was
times have
really
you broken
little,
your
I broke
nose?
it.
I've never broken my nose.
I never broke my nose either.
That's
Okay.
why it's really crooked.
My nose is starting to curve though. It's
Yeah.
pissing me off. I'm trying.
You can break it and
The other
set
way?
it.
How do you mean curve?
I don't know. I can just tell sometimes in pictures. It you can't see it.
No.
It curves to the side.
Nah. I got nothing on that.
I'm trying to push it back. Isn't it really obnoxious how your nose and your ears are the 2 parts of your face that never stop growing?
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah.
What do I do?
You just cut your ears off. Go full Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh,
Boom.
See?
Yeah.
Just cut it.
that's me cutting.
Grow your hair down. Yeah.
How do you make a cutting sound?
I think it's more like
Oh, that was better.
just like that.
Just like
Baby
that.
Driver 2, still driving after all
Still
these years.
Still
Listen,
driving.
I think
driving.
I liked Baby Driver 1 was one of the more surprising likes for
It's
me that
great.
year.
It's great.
Because it first of all, John Hamm in that movie is awesome. It reminds me of his character, of the flip side of his character in The Town, which is also a very underrated
The
movie.
Town is one of my favorites.
Dude, The Town comes on TV. Okay, so here are my 2. If they come on TV, and they've been coming on TV a lot. I'm like,
Departed in The Town?
No, The Town and The Italian Job. I love
Yeah.
both of those
Yeah.
movies so much. You know, both led by Boston guys.
Just not into Blake Lively's performance in.
The Town? Really? Why so?
Her accent is awful.
Oh, is it?
And you know when you only know that when you know that?
Because you know that, yeah.
Ugh. I love her.
What did she do wrong with the accent? See, because that's always the thing I ask about. Because you will never hear a really true, well done Pittsburgh accent in a movie because it would confuse people. People are like, why is this guy talking like this? This sounds ridiculous.
Can you do it again?
Yeah, so it's like, oh, God, Roxy. Here comes Roxy talking about Boston because, like, oh, no, Blake Lively doesn't have the right accent. Blake Lively hangs out with Ryan Reynolds. They think they're all cool.
See,
hang downtown.
If they
It's
did
no
that in a
big deal.
movie, then people wouldn't think
Understand.
that was Pittsburgh, though. It doesn't sound like a place in the United States.
Correct, that's Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is its
Wow.
own independent commonwealth. It's a principality in the southwestern corner of Pennsylvania.
We're our own Commonwealth, also.
Yeah, Massachusetts. It is
I never really quite understood. What are there, 13 of us?
of the commonwealths in the United States. I don't know the answer to that. That's a good trivia
I don't really
question.
know what that means, though.
Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts.
But the
It's
Pittsburgh
Roxy
accent
Striar.
is too thick and too confusing. So when like people come to Pittsburgh and they hear the accent, they're like, "Oh, that's gross." But in Boston, it's like become this romanticized thing because of Ben Affleck in Boston.
Yeah,
But
guys,
so why does
guys
Blake
get away
Lively?
with it more. It was just too much.
Okay.
Like she just didn't. It wasn't there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how else to describe it. It doesn't sound like a Boston accent to me.
Okay.
It's like almost New York borderline.
Did your mom have a Boston accent?
She was from New York.
Oh, got it.
My dad's family is from Boston,
Okay.
so.
And did your sister have an accent?
Do you remember when well, you didn't know me when I first moved out here, but I had more of an accent even when we first met.
I did not
I've
know
kicked
that.
it a lot.
I remember. Yeah.
I've kicked it a little bit. When I'm drunk or angry, it for sure comes out, or really tired. I think my sister has a little bit more. My dad has a little bit of one too. But we're from a
Suburb.
Yeah, I mean it's still city. It's the city touching Boston, but if you go like one city over, aka Boston, it's so different.
But like if you go up to Manchester, New Hampshire, or Maine, like they have like a very
Sometimes the
version
further
of
out
it.
that you get, like if you go to Worcester or
Yeah.
down the Cape, people are there. I don't know.
It's interesting, and the Pittsburgh accent. I'm just probably boring the shit out of people, but if you go and back and you watch the episode of Schmoes Know with Joe Manganiello, he and I do like a back and forth with the Pittsburgh accent.
Yeah.
That works really well.
I love him.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. And again, you will never. I've always wanted to shoot a show about Pittsburgh where everybody has the accent, and when you do it in a room with people, they're like, "We can't sell a show where people speak like this." And I was like, "Well, you should come to my family reunion because
Yeah.
it's the
Do
best."
they all sound like that?
Part of my family. Yeah, some of them don't. I mean, here's the crazy part: is in the town that I grew up, similar to yours, a lot of people really didn't have thick Pittsburgh accents. But then when you leave and you come back, you notice the accent's a little more thick each time you come back.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies from high school developed this super thick Pittsburgh accent. I'm thinking to myself, where did this come from? I don't think you had this in high school, but maybe my ears were a little more trained to miss it. And now that I come back and I've, you learn as Veronica Corningstone, your non-regional dialect. You learn more
Say
about
the
it.
word again.
The non-regional dialect.
Veronica Cornerstone.
Corningstone.
from
Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Oh.
She talks about her non-regional dialect.
I
All right,
see.
let's do one more story before we hit the break.
What is it?
Sounds
What is
good.
it? What are we going to talk about?
We got, I'm going to combine two stories because they're of the same ilk, and that is that the Lion King and Aladdin have both crossed $1 billion
The Lion King already did too.
already at $1 billion. Can you believe that? Aladdin took a little bit longer, but proves that Disney had a hit in this, and proves that Disney is just, I mean, they're taking over with these remakes
Okay, so
here.
Dumbo didn't cross $1 billion.
Dumbo did
Probably
not.
because Dumbo wasn't as good.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
there it
But
was.
I mean, but also
Yeah, there it is.
Dumbo doesn't have the same cachet as Lion King and Aladdin.
I would
do.
think, yeah, Aladdin
I
and
think if
Lion
it had been
King.
amazing, it would have crossed $1 billion.
You think so?
I
Yes.
think if it had been amazing, yes.
Really?
But the buzz around it was so lackluster because the movie was not that good.
Wow.
And was really sad.
What
And
is Dumbo at? Cody, what's that say?
Worldwide 352.
352.
Okay, so maybe
million.
not $1 billion.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but at least I would say it could have hit
500 million?
No, 8.
800 million?
I really think
From
because
352?
I
good
really
question,
think
though.
it's because nobody talked about this, nobody raved about this.
Now, is it because Dumbo is on the older side of the remakes, and we're getting that, like, Aladdin, Lion King, Beauty and the Beast, and I would say Little Mermaid was the golden age of the Disney animated movies. So I think, like, Little
Even
Mermaid,
Mulan.
Mulan, yes, exactly. And Mulan's about to come out. Little Mermaid's casting up.
Do we think Mulan's going to break $1 billion?
I think so.
I think
Really?
it's so challenging because it's not a musical.
Yeah.
So
it's an action movie.
We'll see.
And Mulan, again, I know
think so,
Mulan
though.
does not have the same cachet as Lion King or Aladdin. It doesn't.
I love
For
it so
me,
much.
it does. I think it will.
Okay.
I really do, and I think that
I
there's
think you're
a
in a
giant
minority, Mark.
audience. Well, I think there's a giant audience for this that
Okay.
really,
Has
really
there
wants to
been
see it.
Any announcements about Snow White?
Yes, there is going to be a live-action remake, of course. I want to say Rob Marshall, but I don't know. Let me see.
So you, and then you guaranteed that the Little Mermaid's going to break $1 billion. But
Oh,
that's
yeah,
not
Little
but that's
Mermaid
not
for
Mark
sure.
Webb.
That's not till
that's
next
it.
summer, right?
Mark Webb. Yeah,
Mark
Mark
Webb.
Webb is going to direct. Which
When is that supposed
But
to
didn't we
be?
already do Snow White's? We did Snow White and the Huntsman and Snow White's Winter's War.
it's public domain,
not
so they can
really.
do their version. So we had that Snow White.
Was
yeah,
that
Snow-
Disney?
No, it wasn't Disney. I believe that was Universal.
Uh-huh.
Right? Universal, and then they had what was that movie? Was it Mirror?
No. No,
Yeah,
'cause
Julia
there was
Roberts?
Huntsman, Winter's
Yes.
War. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
and then
yeah.
Snow White and the Huntsman.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So, but this is going to be the actual Disney version, or
Mm-hmm.
live action remake, and Mark Webb's directing. Yes, so we're going to get that. That probably, I think, depending on how it lands with audience like Dumbo, could cross $1 billion. Because is it just like known that it's going to cross $1 billion with Disney, or is it like because Dumbo wasn't that good? Is
So
it
with
re-
Snow White, I think we've had too many Snow Whites.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't like every. This is not. We've had Snow White, Winter's War, Snow White and the Huntsman, then Huntsman, Winter's War. I just think another Snow White of these things. I mean, maybe it's
Well,
depending
it's going
on
to
who.
be Snow White, and I think the magic words there, and the Seven
Seven
Dwarfs.
Dwarfs.
Seven
yeah.
Dwarfs.
So you
Yeah.
know that that's going to be the
And
Disney.
we know
What
who's
do you
playing
think-
Snow White?
What do you think they're going to do
No,
for
not
the
yet,
Seven
no.
Dwarfs? Do you think they're going to cast 7 little people?
They should,
I would imagine.
Or do you think that they're not?
because
And they're going to make people little.
because Snow White and the Huntsman was CGI.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
That would be insane.
And the CGI. I mean, they CGI the dwarves in Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, right? Because they're not actually little people. Mm-hmm. Correct. Mm-hmm. That's a tough question. I here's the thing: is I keep thinking again to me because I think like the triple threat of the Disney musicals that will cross $1 billion for sure are Lion King, Aladdin, Little Mermaid. But that's because that was my thing, right?
Yeah.
But Mulan does have the Asian market. I mean, obviously it goes huge in China. China obviously dominates a ton of foreign box office.
I don't know. I thought, doesn't China hate Mulan, or the Chinese government hates Mulan because
don't
of
know this.
how much Mulan is like anti-establishment?
Oh, is it?
I think I read this somewhere. Mulan and Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi?
Not so Chinese as they seem.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
I mean,
Shang-Chi,
It's
the
the new
Marvel movie.
property.
Oh.
Yeah. But again, Mulan just doesn't have the same ring to me as Lion King,
Disney-
Aladdin, and Little Mermaid.
Reception in China, coming from Wikipedia, so we know it's real. Disney was keen to promote Mulan to the Chinese, hoping to replicate their success with the 1994 film, The Lion King. My eyes are too blind to see.
Which was one of the country's highest-grossing Western films at that time. Disney also hoped it might smooth over relations with the Chinese government, which had sourced soured after the release of Kundun, a Disney-funded biography of the Dalai Lama that the Chinese government considered politically provocative. China had threatened to curtail business negotiations with Disney over that film, and as the government only accepted foreign films per year,
10 foreign films.
Mulan's chances of being accepted were low. Finally, after years' delay, the Chinese government did allow the film a limited Chinese release, but only after the Chinese New Year, so as to ensure that local films dominated the more lucrative holiday market.
Says Chinese people also complained about Mulan's depiction as too foreign looking and the story as too different from the myths.
Got it.
I don't
so
know.
I'm guessing this new one will be closer to the Chinese myths to capitalize on that market, correct?
Possibly, and also not a musical, and
Yeah.
and more about the actual story. So that gives them a lot more time and room to play in that.
I wonder if the score will undertone.
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
There's going to be refrains of the music that we've heard.
Mulan has some of the best songs in any
Yes.
Disney movie.
I think I need
Reflections.
to see Mulan before I go and see the new Mulan because I've never seen the original Mulan.
It's so good.
I'll Make a Man Out of You is
Is
like
so great.
literally one of the best Disney songs that's ever been.
We had a run there where we were doing a lot of road trips, and Julia would put on that song, and then it would end, and I go, play it again.
Yeah,
I'd be
let's
that
get
guy.
down to business
Yeah.
to defeat.
The Huns.
I want Josh to finish.
I don't know this.
Did you send me daughters when I asked?
We're gonna get.
You're saying that's how
Copyright
close I
strike?
am?
Yeah.
I sound dead
You
accurate.
sound dead accurate.
For sons.
All right, we
I'll
are
make a
going
man
to
out of you.
head to the break. We've
Yeah.
got some more news after the break, including a bunch of lame parents who want to change the date of Halloween, and of
Yes.
course, the 482 people cast as Black Widow in the new Black Widow movie.
Whoa.
We also got Kelley Carter coming in at 11:30. This is Collider Live. We'll see you after the break.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. A new episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter,
watch
from
tomorrow.
Instagram, and of course,
pay attention and
email
talk about
as
going
well,
into the
every
nether
Saturday
regions
and
of
Sunday.
space. Hello.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast, because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemiroff here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'd be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we fouch on the two biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh Macuga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT live every single day of the week, right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh Macuga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello,
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it, but if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hey guys, Collider Live. I knocked over a microphone down here. That's my bad.
Tying your shoe?
I got it.
I knocked over a microphone that was on the ground. Welcome back on
Kick that
Tuesday,
shit.
July 30th. I'm Josh Macuga, sitting in for Christian Harloff, who is out for the afternoon, joined by Mark Reilly, Roxy Striar. The lovely three people that are in the studio will be joined by Kelley Carter in the 11:30 portion of the show from 11:30 to noon. Can't wait to have her on. Again, go to @Kelley, Kelley, L. Carter on Twitter and tell her you're excited to have her on Collider Live. Also want to thank all the people that went to Fart Potato and left a comment, watched it, shared it, whatever the case may be. I think the guy has now found a new joy within YouTube and will be making more and more animated, creepy things. Apparently that was like a program used to do. People tweeted at us about it. What he made that it was like a program used to be able to just like voice things like that.
Like a
It's so
Sims
funny.
type thing?
Yeah, like a Sims.
Because it just, when you start putting that nonsense kind of dialogue, which I appreciate, of course, but with the movements, and it's just, it's ridiculous.
It's silly.
It's so funny.
It's amazing. You guys also, too, there are all kinds of great programming over on Collider Video, and we have all kinds of clip outs here on the Collider Live channel. You guys can check out TV Talk on the podcast feed on Collider Factory. There's all kinds of amazing podcasts where you can check out Heroes, Jedi Council, Movie Talk, hosted by Perry Nemiroff, newly anted. Perry Nemiroff, Aunt Perry.
Newly anted, yeah.
Newly anted, anointed
her
as an
sister
aunt.
had the baby?
Yeah, she did. Which is amazing, and we want to thank all of you guys for listening, for watching, however you're ingesting Collider Live. We appreciate you joining us today. So the title of this episode, I don't know why I giggled at ingesting. I apologize. The title of this, so go into this story a little bit, Mark. Black Widow will have multiple Black Widows. This sounds like Ken's backyard in his new house.
God, I know. That was a great episode.
A lot of Black
Afghans,
Widows.
by the
What
way.
happened?
He's got Black Widow spiders in his backyard.
Okay. If I was renting a place,
Yes.
and there were multiple Black Widows, the real Black Widows, I would not move in.
Okay.
Did he know that before moving in?
I don't think so. But
So
here's the thing with Black Widow spiders. They are not an aggressive spider. You just have to be very careful as to where they are because they like dark places like shoes and they like damp places. So you always have to look in your shoes if you've seen them before.
But what happens? They could bite you?
Yeah, and it's a deadly bite. Also, they've started mating in California with the brown recluse, and now there's brown widows, which are very, very dangerous spiders. So you just got to be careful. That's all. And the brown recluse is known to be a little more aggressive than the Black Widow, but we have them around.
I have
just can't.
silverfish.
You have silverfish?
Yeah, silverfish are everywhere.
Yeah. Have you hit an exterminator? You gotta right on. All right,
Good
so multiple Black Widows.
Multiple Black Widows. Rachel Weisz was speaking with IGN where she kind of revealed that there's going to be multiple ones. So she plays a Black Widow. Florence Pugh, is that how you pronounce her last name? Is also a Black Widow, and then she teased that there's a number of Black Widows, and that comes precedent set that it's a product of the Black Widow Ops program.
Okay.
So it's kind of like
Red Sparrow
the 00 program.
Correct.
Right? So a number of assassins that go to train, become these assassins, and so we're going to get a little bit deeper into that.
So like an origin story of all the Black Widow situation. And
Which is taking place chronologically when?
It's taking place, this is a prequel.
Yeah.
So I think we're getting
a prequel to
to. I think it's even takes place before the Avengers, the original Avengers. So you know how Black Widow and Hawkeye talk about what happened in Budapest.
Yes.
So I think we're going to see that.
Okay.
And I think because I know they're filming in Budapest, there's even people teasing. They've been asking Scarlett Johansson, "Well, is Jeremy Renner going to show up?" And she says, "Wait and see." I think it's pretty obvious that Jeremy Renner is going to be in this.
Don't you think if he wasn't, she would say no?
I think that's
know.
a pretty good assessment of the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She would, but at the same point, when you say wait and see,
Yeah.
Then he doesn't show up? Well, who knows?
Do you like
But he's showing up.
What is David Harbour cast as? Who is David Harbour?
I would
cast
imagine
as?
I don't know what he's cast as, but if I was guessing as to what his character might be, he's like one of the heads of the Black Widow operation. Or is he the villain? I don't... Because he plays a pretty decent villain.
Totally.
Here's the thing: is I love these. I've talked about it on this show and many a show before. I love origin stories. I love all that kind of stuff. Right? I love the fact that we're getting a prequel. We're getting an origin as to what the Black Widow, because Black Widow, David Harbour's Black Widow movie character is the Russian Captain America.
You announced that David Harbour was playing Captain America.
Are you serious?
What?
That's hysterical that you did that. You pulled that out of thin air.
I did. I am a clairvoyant, ladies and gentlemen. You guys can follow me at clairvoyant on Twitter. Bing, bang, boom.
Red Guardian might not be the biggest name from the Marvel Comics. He is an important one. Interesting.
Wait, say that again?
Red Guardian.
Oh, Red Guardian is his name. That makes sense. Everything that has to do with Russia is red. Yeah.
Red Sun.
Yeah. Red Square.
Yeah, red
Scare. Curtain.
The Red Scare.
The Red Scare.
That's a good one.
Red Dawn.
Red Dawn. Oh, I love Red Dawn.
The first one.
Yeah, there's no other movie.
Yeah, correct.
That remake didn't happen.
No, it's not that good.
Now let's name things that rhyme with red. Bed.
Ted.
Okay, so there's going to be multiple Black Widows in this movie.
Stay on target.
Yes, and
what do you think
about that?
Yeah, all that.
I've said this many times before. She is not my favorite Avenger. So I
never understood how she beats people with just a gun.
Oh, dude, she'll kick your ass.
I know, but
she
you're
does
fighting
the flippity
aliens from
flips.
outer sky.
Yeah. She made those aliens her you know what.
Because of that, I'm actually excited to understand her a little more and to get down to it, because one of the reasons she's not my favorite Avenger is she hasn't had a trilogy telling me why I should care about her.
That's true.
So yes, she's made appearances in tons of movies.
But now there's
obviously.
Hawkeye. Do you like Hawkeye?
I do like Hawkeye. I feel a little more connected to Hawkeye's story.
Because you met him on a farm? Because you met his family?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also have struggled with that as well. I feel like when you have Iron Man, Thor, Cap, these people who you've even we've had more Hulk, people that we've grown with, it's harder to have your favorite one be somebody who's popped into everybody else's movie, everybody else's story. So I'm excited to fall more in love with her because I think she is well cast, and I'm interested in all of these other names that are going to be playing the scary thing in Ken's yard.
Do you remember the vision she had in Age of Ultron? That's what got me.
Remind me.
So it's like ballerina. She's like, it's like
okay.
foggy, and she's like walking in, and there's like a bunch of girls, and there's like this ballerina theme, and it's. I can't remember it that much. I know there's going to be some fans out there that probably know a lot more than me. But that got me interested, and I think I know what you're saying, and I think this movie's going to remedy that.
Right.
And I wonder how it will connect overall, other than being a prequel.
And
remember how we felt about, and it's a little different because they had 10 years of footage, but remember how we felt about Wonder Woman in BVS versus how we felt about Wonder Woman in Wonder Woman? When it's somebody's movie and somebody's story, you're given a completely different chance to see them.
Yeah, but I loved Wonder Woman in BVS.
I thought she was fine, but I didn't feel connected to her. I felt like she was fine. You loved her?
I loved her.
But I love Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
I love her too.
I loved that she showed up the way she did.
Yes.
It was such a great reveal.
But if Wonder Woman had come out prior to that, I think we would have been more invested. Same thing with the Batman movie.
I tend to agree with that, yeah. I mean, you get, especially because Wonder Woman was a prequel, so we get her backstory. If she then would have showed up like she did in BVS, I think the audience would have, I mean, they already did, because it's Wonder Woman. She's iconic.
It's the same thing with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
It's the same problem they had without having a Batman movie.
Yeah, for us to jump on board with Batfleck before we just put him in a Justice League / BVS.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's not specific to women. I'm just saying.
I mean, we don't really even know the storyline to this whole thing, other than I'd imagine the Black Widow program. You're going to find an origin story. She's the cream that rises to the top, or all of her compatriots get killed by Red Square. What's his name? Red Dawn, Red Man, Method Man, and Red Man. Red Guardian.
Red Guardian.
Red Guardian.
Well, here's the Black Widow ops program from like the Marvel wiki page.
Okay, hook it up.
And it's was the Department X's espionage training program, which plays a critical role in Natalia Romanov's life, based on the Red Room facility. That's one of the things that I think they're going to hear. The rumors I'm hearing is like Red Room.
Red Room.
Which is a
backwards.
Cold War program to train the deadliest female spy in the world. It was created due to the success of previous sleeper agent, the Winter Soldier.
It's set between the events of Captain America: Civil War and Avengers: Infinity War.
What? Is that what they said?
Oh,
What happened to Budapest? Okay, that's good.
Flashback?
There's got to be some flashbacks, and there's going to be some origin story.
Well, then
situation.
that excites
What happened
me.
to Budapest, guys?
Yeah.
That I like.
Blame
Is
it
that
on
true?
Budapest.
Wait, so Cine for but perhaps biggest okay. He confirmed it. Great.
Okay. All
Okay.
right. And then
See,
I'm
remember
guessing,
initially when we were talking about this movie, I had thought that a Black Widow movie would take place between the
Snap.
Yeah, because we see what she's
Heard
been up
that
to.
as well.
But that was more of a hope than a guess.
tracking down Hawkeye, is that what we're thinking? Or going around keeping the world together in between the 5 years? That was what I wanted.
But now not.
Now not. And because we talked about it, Christian didn't like that either, and I don't think, did you like that idea? I know
Which?
Christian didn't like the idea of like filling in the time between the snap and
I love that idea. Are you kidding me? Because I thought some of the best moments in Endgame was when it flashed 5 years later, and especially Scarlett Johansson in Black Widow was so upset. And like that great scene with Steve Rogers coming in, I think it would have been interesting because she was like on it. She was like, and she was also looking for Hawkeye. I know that. So that to me is a little interesting. I know that the Hawkeye series might delve into, at least some of the rumors state that it might delve in, but then they announced that it's going to be him training the next Hawkeye. So I don't know if that's happened anymore, but I would have loved that because then I think it could have led into, should we issue spoilers for Endgame?
Spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
If it's going to, are they going to redo Scarlett Johansson? Could she be saved or is she dead?
I think she's dead.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
think
is
she's
this her
dead,
last
dead.
thing? And then, well, if it's.
Do you guys wish that this movie happened before Endgame came out?
It's a good question.
That's a really good question.
Not necessarily, but I think it would have maybe helped to go to your previous point where you haven't really cared that much about Black Widow because she hasn't had her own movie. So if we would have had a Black Widow movie before Endgame and then the events happen, would you have cared a lot more?
I think probably.
I think probably as well. I would have.
I don't think probably. I think definitely.
Yeah.
I think had we had a Black Widow movie that really investigated the 5 years in between the snap, because we have a world that we could have built there, and now we are leading even more into Endgame because we see the world in the peril that it's in, right? Because a lot of the times when in Endgame, when they cut to what the world looked like, it reminded me of The Leftovers. It made me very happy because I loved that show, and even more so to an extreme because you lost 50% of the culture or the world as opposed to, what was it, 1%?
I think 3.
3% of
It was either 2
was
or
in
3%.
Leftovers?
Yeah.
And it was always
2
very
or 3%. Somebody tell me.
Yeah. Can you figure?
Sure it's 2.
It's
2?
2. You're the big Leftovers fan too, Code, right?
It was either 2 or 3. I haven't seen it in a while, but.
But anyway, it was, in some of those places where it's so creepy and quiet in the world that it had become when you lost, the 2%. That's some of the fun stuff that I loved in Endgame, was seeing what the world had turned into, because it didn't turn into like pandemonium. It was just, we lost all these people and there was so much ancillary just trash and things that you couldn't really even take care of because there weren't enough people to take care of it, is what I'm getting at.
100%.
And I'd love if that world was built before Endgame. I really do. I'm with you on that.
We talked about, weird segue, but we talked about children earlier in this episode. You guys both would like to have them eventually. When showing your children these movies, which I'm assuming you're definitely, Reilly, you're going to do. Macuga, I bet you probably do as well at some point.
I have to get through a bunch of other ones first.
Yeah, but then eventually. Yeah. Are you going to, do you think that they're going to be, you're going to want them to watch it in order that they came out or chronologically?
Order they came out. I don't know, just...
Same thing with Star Wars?
To recreate the experience I had.
So you're gonna have your children watch 4, 5, 6 before they watch 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
Yeah, because then they get spoiled with the weird CGI before you go to the old.
I want I want to like, and by then it just probably when I have kids, the technology will be as such that I'll just like go click and start filming through my eyes.
From your eyeballs.
Because that great video that happened when Darth Vader is revealing that he's Luke's father, and there's a little kid watching. Have you seen that video? It's
No.
hysterical and it's so awesome. And the kid's just like, he just loses his mind, and that's kind of the experience I want as a father.
But you don't think you'd have that if you started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Right, because by the end of 3, it's revealed who he is, and then so we know, and that's why I don't want to do it. I want that reveal to happen, and then you go back and you learn about
son
Anakin.
like so worried about sand and being so upset about sand.
Well, it is coarse, and
It's coarse.
and
It's
probably
coarse,
your
and
son and daughter
gets
will need to know
everywhere.
that at some time in life.
Yeah.
How does sand feel? Coarse.
Well, how would you
Rough.
how would you present the events of Avengers?
I don't know. I think that it's like also if you have a favorite movie in the MCU, would you just want them to? Because it's going to be hard to get children. Well, first of all, kids. Oh my God. Second of all, it's going to be hard to get children to watch all of the movies. It's like you got to show them a good one first. You really want to start with the MCU Phase 1, or do you want to start with like? Depends on who your kid is. Do you want to start with a Captain Marvel? Just show them something a little different. Do you want to cater it to them?
I would start with Iron Man
Yeah.
and go chronologically.
And
Again, I'm doing, but I might be a little selfish with my kid. They might look at my collection and go, "No, I want to watch like Ragnarok," and it's like, "No, we got to start here." I
like Ragnarok.
I love Ragnarok.
Cody, what's your plan as the
what do
only
you
man
got?
who has a child
Hey,
on the way?
guys. The Star Wars thing. I'm doing both. The order of how they were released. The thing Reilly was talking.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good
Doing the same
man.
thing.
Thank you.
And then with the Avengers, same thing, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it makes sense.
Is it selfish to say you want to
I mean,
try
I
to
could be like,
recreate
hey-
the experience with your kids?
Sure.
On like the build up, like, hey, this started with Iron Man, this started with A New Hope.
But you'd rather recreate than give best experience? I'm not saying you're not giving best experience, but it's
I mean, it's
more important
subjective,
to you.
right? I mean, it's like they could also look at the box art depending on the age, and they can look at the box art and go, I want that, just because of what it looks like on.
I think I'm with you, though. I think especially for Star Wars.
Yeah. Star Wars is like, and I know there's the machete order where they kind of get rid of like Phantom Menace and it starts at Attack of the Clones and then, what's the machete order again? I'm trying to remember. But anyways.
Machete.
Yeah. Machete. Kills.
Okay. Do you want kids? I mean, this is
I think maybe one day I'll adopt.
okay.
You sound so sure.
No, here's what I know. I know I would like to foster children if I have enough money.
Okay.
And then I don't know from there what I'll
Okay.
do. But that's
Gotcha.
what's important to me. I just
So-
feel very far away from that moment, both monetarily and maturity-wise.
Look, at your age, it was not even in.
Yeah,
It wasn't even on the
but
highway
you have
in front of
different
me.
reproductive things. So if I decide I do want to have kids, I got to actually figure that the fuck out
Right.
relatively soon, which is crazy.
Now, is there do you because I always think like the first 3 movies I want my kids to see, like I want to introduce them to, not franchise. I'm just talking the first 3 movies.
They ever see?
No, I mean, listen, they're going to go through Daniel the Tiger and all like the animated stuff, but I'm saying
don't
adult
know what that
movies.
is.
Okay.
Like, like
Daniel the Tiger?
Daniel the Tiger is a spin-off of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was like the thing. And it's an animated show that kids love. Then they have like Paw Patrol, and then they have Bubble Guppies, and then they've got all the Thomas the Train, all these kids animated shows that I've sat through with my niece and nephew that are just painstaking. So they're going to go through that, and then they're going to watch the Disney animated movies. They're going to sit through Moana, and they're going to have to watch Moana 400 times. Like Christian was talking about the Aladdin, they're going to have to sit through that 100 times, and what the old Lion King, which is great.
Okay, so once they get through all that.
Once they get through all that, I have like 3 adult movies I need to show them as, this is like, these are my favorites.
Boys 2.
Correct.
But what
Rocky
age is
5.
that?
I think like 10.
Yeah. Okay.
What are the other ones? Do you know?
Yeah.
No, not you.
Oh.
Yeah, I know you know.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
posed the question.
Wait.
Do you know his?
No, I can maybe guess.
What are they?
I mean, so Bad Boys 2.
Uh-huh.
MacGruber.
No, I can't show my kids MacGruber until they're like 16. It's a pretty inappropriate movie.
Independence Day.
No, but that's a very good, very,
Cody,
very good
Alex,
guess.
guesses?
I was gonna say Independence Day.
It's a very, very good
Alex?
guess.
Jurassic Park.
No,
Ah, shit.
What is it?
that's a very good guess as well. Bad
Close,
Boys
has
2,
Okay.
Die Hard,
Die Hard. Duh.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Ah, Raiders.
You're
yeah.
going to show them Bad Boys 2 before Bad Boys?
Yeah.
Raiders.
You don't need to know anything about Bad Boys to go into Bad Boys 2. You really don't.
Raiders will
but it's nice
scare
build-up.
the shit out of them at 10, and I'm okay with this.
Why? Because of the spiders? Because of the ghosts and everything?
Dude, they go in the well of souls and all the bodies.
The snakes in the cave.
Snakes in the cave. The spiders at the beginning.
I think I was 9, 8.
See, this is what I want to do.
That was totally unintentional, but I did sound like that.
I'm not playing it.
Thanks. I think
You were asking.
I was
for
about
it,
that
though.
age. I think maybe 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, then my dad showed me Raiders. So
See, my dad did the same thing. My dad showed me Aliens at like 10.
that's a tough look. That would have scared the crap out of me.
See, this
Loved
is,
it.
I think.
Oh, are you
that's-
kidding me? He said close your eyes, and I would do it and then peek. And
It's a
I
movie,
got
though.
into it. I
What's
was
wrong with
into
that?
it. Showed me Jaws.
Do you know me? I'm afraid of
Aliens.
everything.
I think that's why. I mean, my dad got me into horror movies. Got me into my love of movies. He really did.
I
So,
seriously was allowed to watch whatever I wanted whenever I wanted.
that's how I was.
I mean, I think the Blockbuster culture was such that my parents, we'd go to Blockbuster and they'd be like, get whatever.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, we
As long as it wasn't like Nudie McNudes does nude stuff.
We did
Right.
a mom and pop store. There were 2 of them. One of them was West Coast Video. What?
I think they're Googling Nudie McNude does
Stopped
nudes.
before he could hit send.
Oh my God, we're gonna find another YouTube
Hit
channel.
send. Hit send. Hit send. Oh, I want to see it. No.
No, I don't think there's anything up there. Nudie McNude does nude
Do you
stuff.
mean nude MC nude? No, I don't, sir. No, I don't.
What were you saying? You were saying your parents said your mom and pop video store.
We went to West Coast Video and Pick-a-Flick. Those were our 2 stores that we went to. There's a Blockbuster also, but you got to support the small businesses.
do.
And we were allowed to pick whatever, but my mom had a really bad habit of not returning things, so we got in trouble a lot.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah. We always rewound, but we just didn't always bring it back.
That happens. There was a family. My buddy's family was the same way. Do we have any more news that we'd like to get to?
No, I think
Marcus?
we're good on the news. We're
Okay.
good on that, and we have our guest. I think getting
Arriving
ready
shortly.
to so
Shoes and beef.
This is
shoes
fantastic.
and beef.
I want to say that there's a bunch of TV news on this thing, but maybe we'll save some of that for TV talk,
Yeah.
which comes out on Thursday. Thad Williams, myself, Roxy Striar, because there is a lot of TV news.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I feel like a retread when I keep talking about it, but
I get it.
You know,
Yeah. Sometimes when it's a little bit on the bigger side, we'll talk about
Yeah.
it. But
Don't we have a game that we're playing?
I was gonna maybe do some rapid fire questions with Kelley before we run out of time.
Kind of like the Josh Macuga Show style?
I have the same ones. I have the cards here at the office.
nice.
We got to do it.
I need to update those rapid fire questions.
Can you
because
bring back that show?
I would love to. It's a matter of time and
I'm
and
the voice of
energy.
it.
You are.
I am.
It's just I mean I loved doing the Josh Macuga Show. I will never do it in the summertime because
Oh, yeah.
it's too hot in my apartment and I sweated profusely. So we always took a
Do you,
hiatus in the summertime.
you have no AC?
We have AC in the bedrooms. It's an old building. It's pre-war.
Yeah.
So
I have only AC in my bedroom also.
yeah.
It's brutal.
And our building gets direct sunlight all afternoon in the summertime.
Direct.
I mean, it bakes our building terribly.
I bake.
Do you?
No.
Well done.
Ding.
Literally, as we just did this, I just got a text message from my dispensary. Welcome to the all-new LA PCG Rewards Program,
Ooh.
where you earn a point for every $1.
Did they deliver?
I don't know. We should check.
Yeah.
I always go there. I like to
I'm
smell
always so
things.
confused as to what states are legal and what not. Like I've never looked into it because I just feel like so many people just fly with weed now. That does TSA even pay attention to it?
It depends on the airline, actually. But,
Really?
But some places you are allowed to fly to and from with weed, and kind of similar to how you have to.
But like vape pens and stuff, is that the same thing?
Legally, I don't know. I fly with my vape pen everywhere, though,
Okay.
allegedly.
Yeah. I mean, I think my mother-in-law does the same thing, allegedly.
The vape pens are so easy. You actually, not that I have, but also I have, used my vape pen on the plane.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
You've used it on the plane?
on the plane, in the bathroom.
Get out of here.
'Cause
I hope
it's
nobody
vape.
on TSA. But they say no e-cigarettes on the
Yeah, they do.
on a plane.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's-
Roxy
I
breaking
flush and I
rules.
blow it into the toilet.
Get out of here, really?
Yeah.
Man, that is. What, do you have
Allegedly.
flight anxiety that you do?
No, I love flying. Most of my flights are over 6 hours, so I need to sleep and stuff. I used to take Xanax for the flight because I would want to sleep, but if you take red eyes and I'm groggy in the morning, you don't want to. So
I need it for my
Xanax
anxiety.
or weed?
Anything you give me.
Yeah.
Well,
we did those
hate
edibles
flying,
at one time.
and that was one of my favorite flights ever.
Because
that
do
thing,
edibles.
it kicked in at the right moment.
Not at all?
Unless I'm sitting and watching Grease on my couch for the next 8 hours.
Interesting.
Nope.
Wow. I did not know that. Wait, before we go to break, Cody, 3 movies to show your future child.
Well, Jurassic Park.
Clearly.
Yep.
You got, we're not counting Star Wars or Marvel.
One of the movies you'd have to pick from the franchise.
New Hope.
Okay.
Star Wars.
Okay.
And
If you just said A New Hope and people didn't know what it was and you had to clarify Star Wars, I don't know if they should be listening to Collider Live.
That's true.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Not quite sure.
Yeah.
You got your third one.
I'm trying to
Future
think, man.
Dad of America. Chips with Dax Shepard? Is that what you're saying?
Legally
No,
Blonde.
not saying Chips.
Legally Blonde?
Screw it. Avengers.
The
Nice.
first
Why
Avengers.
not?
I like it. I like it, Cody. You didn't pick what I thought you were going to pick, which is the 1989 Batman, which is a close fourth for me with Independence Day. You don't like the 1989 Batman. It's you and Frank. You guys are all
Just not as much as you do. I don't know. It's just not great.
You guys are wrong.
I'm going to go to break now. Okay?
Yep, let's go to
Yeah,
break.
let's do
When we
that.
come back, on the other side of the break, we've got Kelley Carter coming in. She's fantastic. You guys are all going to love her. We can't wait to talk to her. We'll see you. Collider Live.
Hey guys, Reilly here, and let me tell you about Rule of Two. You looking for a Star Wars fix? Well, Rule of Two is that show. It drops in on Collider Video's main YouTube channel, as well as on Podcast One's Jedi Council feed. So go over there, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's hosted by myself and Mark Fernandez. We talk everything in the Star Wars universe with a lot of deep dives and a lot of conversations that go all in. You know what to do. Subscribe, join us there, and rise.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Mailbag. New episode drops every Saturday and Sunday in your face and in your ears, answering the questions from you fans about the world of entertainment, film, and television. Me and great guests from our sphere do the best to answer your questions from Twitter, from Instagram, and of course, email as well, every Saturday and Sunday.
Hi, I'm Coy Jandro, host of Collider Heroes, and I'm here to tell you we've got 20-minute episodes coming at you on Collider Video, on the YouTube, as you've always loved it. Plus, now we've got hour-long podcasts dropping every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe to the podcast because it's going to get even more sweaty on the podcast. Plus, every week, we're going to try to get some very special guest interviews, all of the people that help shape these movies and TV shows you love. So, video, podcast, interviews, all coming at you. Be sure to subscribe. Thanks so much, guys. Stay sweaty.
Hey guys, Perry Nemiroff here to let you know that The Witching Hour is all over Collider right now. You can listen to that horror-filled podcast with myself, with Haley Fouch. We talk about witchiness, we talk about slashers, we talk about space horror, you name it, all on that show on the Collider Factory feed. We also have clips on the Collider Podcast YouTube channel, and on top of that, you can find an article all about Witching Hour every single Tuesday on Collider.com. Check it out, get scared. Hopefully you survive the Witching Hour.
What's up, Collider fans? Ryan Satin here from ProWrestlingSheet.com, where you can find the top stories throughout the week in the world of professional wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan like myself, then you'll be doing yourself a disservice by not checking out all the shows we do every week on YouTube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet. In particular, on Wednesdays, we've got a SmackDown recap show hosted by John Roca and myself, where we pick apart and talk about every little thing that happened on the Blue Brand. So do yourself a favor and go subscribe at youtube.com/C/Wrestling Sheet.
Hey guys, Perry here to let you know about the new edition of Collider Movie Talk. We are going to 5 days a week. We have a short, sweet 20-minute show where we focus on the 2 biggest stories of the day. You can expect to see all of your favorite Collider personalities on the show, including Jeff Snyder, John Roca, Haley Fouch. You're getting Josh Macuga every Friday. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be informative, fun. Come join us. 3 p.m. PT live every single day of the week, right here on the Collider Video YouTube channel. You can also find the show on the Collider Movie Talk feed on our podcast network, so go watch, go listen, however you prefer to get all of your movie news.
Hey everyone, John Roca here, the host of Collider Sports Time. Well, you know, if you've been watching us every week, you know we break down the latest and the greatest in the world of sports, talk about the big issues, the big games, all of it with a rotating band of guests like Matt Nose and Josh Macuga. We've had Taylor Bisciotti on. We've had so many great guests. Now, if you want to see more of Sports Time or you want to try it out for the first time, remember to subscribe to Collider Sports YouTube channel. And if you want to take us along with you in your ears, you can go and subscribe to the Collider Sports podcast feed for all the sports goodness.
Hey guys, it's Reilly here. Let me tell you about the Reilly Roundtable. You know it, right? It drops every Thursday on Collider Conversations, and I have guests from all across the space. John Roca, Gray Drake, Alexander Desplat came on at one point. We talk everything from movies, we talk about life, and everything in between. What do you want to hear? What do you want to talk about? It's the Reilly Roundtable every Thursday on Collider Conversations. You get it there.
Hello, how are you guys doing? I'm Christian Harloff. I'm the host of Collider Jedi Council. We talk about everything Star Wars, and if you want to catch our weekly show where we talk about the latest and greatest in Star Wars, it's movie news, it's canon, it's all of it. We take questions from you guys. How do you do it? Main channel, that's right here. Subscribe to this channel, and you can listen, you can watch, you can do all of it, but if you want to just listen to it, you got the podcast feed too. Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever it is, you can listen to it in your car. Do all of it. It's Star Wars. Episode 9's coming out, and then after Episode 9, you got TV shows, so we're going to be your sports center for Star Wars. Do it. Come on. Be real.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Collider Live on a Tuesday. It's 11:30ish. We have our
11:34, Joshua.
11:34. Thank you, Roxanne.
Remember when you got nervous that I was mad at you today because I called you Josh?
Yes. Well, people don't call me Josh all the time. I know when Amanda's upset with me, she says Josh. My mom says Joshua Edward. People always either call me Macuga or Macoogs. Rarely do they say my first name.
I guess I don't
hey, Josh.
usually, but I was like all smiley and stuff.
Yeah, you were like whatever you'd like, Josh. I'm like, whoa, Roxy, take it.
I said whatever you want, Josh.
Yeah. So Kelley Carter is on her way in. She's just running a touch late. And she'll be in here in a second. Mark Riley's going to bring her in when we do. Roxy Striar currently looking at her selfie that she took. Did you get it out?
I got my tweet out, bitches.
It only took her an hour and a half to get the tweet out.
Oh, that's interesting. Where was your tweet today?
I retweeted the main tweet.
I did also.
Thank you. Oh, did you now?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
But that doesn't get as much traction.
Yeah, we just need the Collider video to keep tweeting us, tweeting our link out. That would be fantastic. Some original tweets.
OG tweets in the his out.
You know how that goes.
How often do you add is out to words?
Never.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever added it once intentionally.
No way. That's crazy.
No. Yeah. I don't think it's 19. It's 2004 again, and I don't think I want to be Snoop Dogg.
What's happening with these parents?
We're going to talk to Kelley about that. I think it'd be a fun thing
I
to
didn't
talk
know
about.
that.
Yeah, parents are trying to make Halloween just like the last Saturday in October instead of October 31st. So going like Thanksgiving last Thursday in October.
I hear what they're saying,
like
man.
Do you?
Stupid, but I hear it. We'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
That's what you call a tease.
That is a tease.
It does seem like I got high during the break, which
It
I did
does.
not actually. I did not leave the room.
Do you wake and bake?
Never. I work 7 days. I work 6 or 7 days a week, and I do not go on camera when I'm high, literally ever, unless I'm doing a cannabis show.
Yeah.
Like
Or getting
dug with high cannabis show.
Yes.
So ever, even, no matter how many times people accuse me of being stoned on camera,
is that
I'm
a
never,
genre?
ever high on camera.
Is that a genre? Is that like a cannabis programming? Is that like a genre now? Like if you go on, okay.
Yeah, definitely. There's
Is there a
tons
cannabis
of it.
channel? Not like YouTube
so many.
channel. No, like TV channels.
I would say Vice is close. Sometimes.
Okay. Got it. Over here. Hey, Kelley Carter.
Kelley.
Rock your body.
Rock your Kelley. Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
How are you,
What's
Kelley?
going on?
I'm doing well. I apologize for being late. This
That's okay.
never happened.
We vamped. It was so good.
What were you guys doing?
Just talking.
What were we doing?
Yeah.
I was talking about cannabis, so
Yeah.
that's what we were
Oh,
doing.
that's a good conversation.
There we go. I didn't know if there was a cannabis like TV channel out there. I
Oh.
didn't even know. Like, because again, I would be the worst person to talk about it because I've been paranoid since like age 20 every time I've gotten high, so I don't do it that much.
Right.
I get it, yeah.
Like I feel like I was the
Because
kid.
you're a loser.
Correct. Yeah. I feel like I smoked weed
kidding.
too early
Okay.
in life, and then
Okay.
my like body chemistry changed.
So you
Right?
peaked.
I peaked
Yeah,
early, just like
yeah.
like in life. I peaked early, Kelly.
I wonder if I peaked already. How do you know if you peaked in life?
We've all peaked.
I don't know. I kind of judge it based off of like maybe my Facebook friends and what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like high school friends. Like I kind of measure myself in that way.
So all of my Facebook friends from high school are married with children, and I'm very much alone. Have I peaked?
Oh no, I'm right there with you, sister. So
Where are you from, Kelley Carter?
So I'm originally from Michigan.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm a
this is what they
Midwestern
do,
girl.
right? Which
Exactly, and then like kind of point out where you're from.
Yeah.
On your hand.
Wherever Detroit is, I'm like right there in the southeastern Michigan.
Were
so.
you a fan of the show Detroiters on Comedy Central?
I'm gonna be honest. I never watched one episode of Detroiters, and I feel like a piece of crap for
It
not
is
doing
one
it.
of the
Was it
most
good?
underrated comedies
Okay.
ever made.
It's
It is-
canceled now, right?
It's canceled. 2
Yeah.
seasons on Comedy Central. I still think you can get on the app, and it might be
what
on Hulu.
year are you talking?
Last year.
Recently, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
It's Sam Richardson, Tim Robertson.
Aren't you my
Tim
friend?
Robinson. Yeah.
Why didn't you tell me about
Detroiters.
this?
I've told you many times.
Why didn't I listen?
Come on, Kelly.
You know what sucks is that I always find out about shows like that after they're canceled, and then I marathon them and love them, and I'm
And
like,
they're
God,
done.
had I
Yeah,
actually
that's
been
like
a part
me.
of the cool kids, I would have been watching it. Maybe it would still be on.
No.
And as a Detroit girl, you would figure it's called Detroiters. Like if something
You
was
would
called
think.
Pittsburghers, I'd
right.
be on it.
You would think. You would think. But see, I did that with Freaks and Geeks.
Oh.
I
Oh,
watched
yeah.
it like way after it went off the air, and I was like, damn.
But I think a lot of people did that, and that's why it got canceled after
That's
one
true.
season.
That's
Very
true.
true.
Did that take place in Michigan? Is
It
that-
did. Detroit, yeah.
No way. I
Another
did not-
Detroit show. I tend to kind of like support all things Detroit when
Yeah.
I can.
Sure.
So yeah, that was another Detroit show. And then like Friends from College on Netflix.
Oh.
Don't even.
Loved it.
Don't even get me started.
know. I know.
I can't believe it.
I know.
But they canceled it.
They canceled
They
it.
did.
Heartbroken. I mean,
Yeah.
the second season took my whole soul with it.
I know.
One of the more underrated like ensemble casts you'll ever see
Such
together on
an
TV.
awesome
I
cast.
Totally.
feel like if they wanted to get picked up by pop a la One Day at a Time, they
Yeah.
could do
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
why not? Because
I
they're all
know.
busy. But
Well, I was gonna say
Just rude.
Everybody's become like more famous since that show went on.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they got Keegan-Michael Key for 2 seasons is pretty crazy.
Pretty cool. And
Right?
Billy Eichner was in it too.
I know.
Yeah, which I didn't realize that at the time when I went back. I'm
Because
like,
he's
oh.
so not Billy Eichner in
Yeah,
the show. He's
like,
like
at
the
all.
anti-Billy Eichner in the show.
yeah,
No,
he was him in Parks and Rec. He was not him in
Yes.
in Friends from
Oh
College.
my God! So here's a confession. So The Office is like my all-time favorite series, and
Yeah.
so I've been hearing about there's this beef between The Office fans versus Parks and Rec, like which was the better written series. So I'd only watched a little bit of Parks and Rec, so I literally just finished marathoning all
binged
7
it?
seasons like last week.
That's
how you feel?
impressive.
I mean, The Office all day, every day.
But how do you feel about Parks and Rec?
So good. Like I
Yeah.
really loved it. Like I really loved it. But also it's unfair because I've watched like every episode of The Office like 10 times at least. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
But I really like Parks and Rec though, and Billy Eichner was hilarious in it.
The world building, I think, in Parks and Rec is better than the world building in The Office as far as like Punny
Yeah.
and Eagleton and all the
Right.
people like Little Sebastian, things
Yes.
like that, right?
Yes.
I love Little Sebastian.
May he rest in peace.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Spoiler alert: he dies.
Whereas I think The Office, you are so contained in The Office that they built a world within an office. Do you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like,
That's so true.
That
Whoa,
whole kind of a
guys.
thing. I dug it. Now, Kelly, obviously, we kind of fell in love with you watching the live stream of the Lion King red carpet. And Christian Harloff, who was so impressed by your performance, who's not here today, unfortunately, wanted to get you in here really, really badly.
Every single week he goes to a premiere and comes in and complains about the person that is doing that is doing your job. He's always like, why can't they get somebody? So you don't even know what a big praise this was.
Yeah.
He was freaking out.
Because there
over
was
you.
at the Endgame red carpet, the girl called Evangeline Lilly Cody Smulders.
Oh my God!
And it was kind of
OMG.
She
Yeah, it
could
was
not
tough
have played
look.
it off better though. She was
Yeah,
so
she
not
handled it like a pro
that they were working.
afterwards.
Kobe Smulders.
Kobe Smulders like Kobe
She
Smulders.
called Kobe Smulders Evangeline Lilly.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's how it was. Yeah.
Reversed.
Yeah.
That's mortifying.
Right.
Oh my God.
She didn't seem mortified.
No, my God.
She was like, oh.
But you
Inside, maybe there was a little person that just like,
Yeah.
like a little version of herself inside. It was just like, oh God, I just did that.
is that like your biggest nightmare on being on the red carpet? Just
Yeah.
like call the wrong name.
Oh my God, I would
'Cause
die.
that's mine.
Yeah, that or even getting like a factoid wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm one of those people where if I'm doing like a public speaking thing and like let's say I didn't like conjugate like the verb or whatever like correctly, and no one else has heard it, but it haunts me me, and like I'll think about it 8 years later and be still mortified by it. So that literally is my worst nightmare. What I have done is one time I clearly confused the background circumstance of one actress for another actress when I first moved out to LA. And since then, this actress and I are like really cool. Like we kind of stay in touch quite often.
What do you mean background circumstance?
Oh my God. It was Taraji P. Henson, and this was like it was like 11 years ago. And it was right leading up to before people really started talking about the Curious Case of Benjamin Buttons. But that was the studio clearly was about to position her for a campaign run. And so I had just read this like Vibe magazine article. I don't know who I confused her with, but she said something to me like, yeah, because I've been struggling. I was like, yeah, like you were homeless, living in your car. And she's like, what? No. It was very Taraji-like. But she was like, no, Taraji never been homeless. Like, it's not me. No, I know you're thinking. And I was like, oh, right, yeah, because I was horrified. But it was so funny because she was like, what? I said I struggled. I said I was homeless, living in a car. Like, where did you get this from? Like, I don't know. I'm so embarrassed.
Pulled the wrong fact from the ether.
There's no way in hell she even remembers that. But I think about it 11 years later. I'm still like, oh my God, she probably is like, that was the idiot who said I was homeless.
The red carpet too. The red carpet too is a very stressful place because people kind of look at it, and Roxy and I have done red carpets. You've been on red carpets.
I did a version of it.
Yeah, and the red carpet interview. If you're not like a top tier outlet, you're just like shoved at in the middle or the end, and you're just like, hey, would you guys like to talk to the writer's friend? I'm like, did he write the movie? No,
that's
just
the version I did.
Yeah.
Oh God, I know, or the composer.
Yeah, right. Like, this is the composer. What did he compose? Not this movie. But he's a composer. If you're interested,
he's just here.
And a lot of people that come out to Los Angeles or see red carpets are like, oh my God, that job must be so glamorous.
Yeah,
it's not.
No, not at all.
It's not.
No.
What's like? Give me a terror, like a nightmare story.
Oh my God, I totally have one. So this was like, I don't know, probably 8 years ago or so. It was right at the height of like the Jersey Shore stuff.
Yes.
And like all the kids were getting like hired to like do red carpet stuff. And so this was the Grammys, and I feel like it was some like the late night show or one of those shows that hired Mike the Situation.
Oh no.
And he was like right next to myself and like my usual group of like red carpet friends. And I think that he thought, because he had clearly never done this before, that like he based off the strength of the popularity of Jersey Shore, that he could grab like all of these really big people that normally they wouldn't be able to have grabbed before. And I mean, in some ways he was right, but they were really just like Rihanna walks by and she had the flu that night and there was no way she was talking to anybody. And she's like, Mike, abs, and then like kept walking, but like, and then he came back and he's going, see, like I know the people, and I wanted to be like, dude, we all know the people, like all of us know the people. Those of us who went to college, like studied this shit, moved out, like we all know the people, but that's not how this whole game works. Yeah. But it was funny because like we just all kind of took pleasure in like him kind of realizing like how hard the red carpet is. And then after that, we go backstage, and that was the year, this is so embarrassing. That was the year that like Justin Bieber was up for like Best New Artist or something. And he didn't win. He lost out to the violinist.
Which is crazy. Yeah. He lost, was it him and who was the other guy that lost? Either Drake or somebody. Like it was
people who like have careers now.
Or Kendrick maybe. It was somebody lost the same year as Bieber to this girl. I literally just was looking at this. I have it on my phone in a note right now. I will literally,
my God.
Don't even pull it up on there.
Was it like Yo-Yo Ma's
I'm not
daughter?
kidding you.
No, it not a violinist. It was like a jazz.
I'm about to tell you, it's literally in a note.
Esperanza Spalding.
Yes. What did I say about this?
No, you're so right.
Let me show you this. I
Zach
want
Brown Band.
We're riffing.
I want you guys to see that this is in a note on my phone.
Wow, look at
this.
that.
This is my 10 biggest snubs of the decade.
That
it's
is
an article that I'm
hilarious.
writing, and right here, does it not say Esperanza Spalding wins Grammy for Best New Artist over Drake and Bieber?
Yes.
And Florence and the Machine and Mumford and Sons.
That was a crazy year.
Insane in the membrane. Like, what?
Well, JB.
Anyway, not relevant.
No, I'm saying, and I love JB. but he was not happy that night.
Shocked.
He was not happy backstage. And I remember one of my friends, the same guy who had toughed it out with me with the situation on the red carpet, we kind of like got sassed, as he likes to say. He's like, we got sassed by Justin Bieber backstage.
No.
And he's like,
15-year-old babes.
Right. He's like, I went to college. Like, he was like, why does no one understand, like, what this job actually is? It looks so cool to everybody back home in Michigan on Facebook. Yeah. And, I mean, it is, because at the end of the day, you're not laying asphalt in 100-degree weather. You know what I mean? Like, it is an awesome job. You effectively get to hang out with, like, the world's most famous people, hang out, interview them, talk to you. They probably know you by name. Maybe they, like, follow you on IG or whatever. Yeah. And it's, like, a thing, and you develop a rapport. But, I mean, at the end of the day, you sometimes get sassed. By a Canadian pop star.
And not the one that you wanted. If Drake had sassed me, right. I would
have taken a Drake sassing. But we were like,
does it affect you? Does it affect you how you look at celebrities now? Like, do you look at that experience or with the situation, and now when you see them in the news, you're like, oh, Justin Bieber, situation. Best friends, by the way, with the Fire Festival guy.
Yeah.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, they became in jail.
In jail, they became buddies. So.
That's a story I would have loved to have reported
on. There's going to be a Lifetime biopic, the Fire situation, and.
But is that something that affects you?
On Jersey. Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Like when I kind of walked into, being an entertainment reporter, I'm human, so I have like favorites and people that like I kind of either grew up loving or just had an affinity for, whether I just respected their talent or maybe I had like, I clipped out an article when I was a kid or something and maybe put it on my wall. But then, you meet people and that changes it. Sometimes I'm at the point now where I'm like, God, if I still am obsessed with somebody that I loved like 20 years ago, I don't know if I now want to interview them because it might change how I feel about them. Because you get disappointed. Totally. And sometimes you want to walk into these interviews and be like, hey, whoa. Like, I was the one person in Southfield, Michigan who, was your fan. Like, totally. I'm coming at this interview at a whole different situation. Like, let's the hostility or whatever it is you're upset about. So absolutely, like, it changes things. You meet people and because I do a lot of off-camera interviews, like, when you do on-camera interviews, like, people are always on and popping because they know it's, a camera is documenting it. But when you're not recording it with a camera, I think there's this kind of trust. And it might be ill-founded, in some ways, but a trust that you're not gonna like write about maybe like the shitty demeanor or whatever it is that that's happening leading up to like when you sit down and interview. But a lot of times I have to do a lot of work to make a story interesting that someone would want to read if I'm writing a piece, because sometimes the world's most famous people are not the world's most interesting people, and that's just what it is.
So you go to school at Michigan State. I'm a Penn State guy, so Big Ten.
Okay, Big Ten. Go Big Ten.
Yeah. Did you ever get involved in the Blood Cup? The Blood Cup when we do when we used to play, because we used to play the last game of every season. We used to do the blood drive. So it was Penn State versus Michigan State.
Yes.
So I ran the Blood Cup I think my junior year.
I need you to stop saying that.
The Blood Cup. We were the first two land grant institutions in the United States. So Michigan State and Penn State were two land grant institutions. 1853, I think 54. It was like the same time.
All right. What was ours? No idea.
1862.
Is that true?
I think so, yeah.
USC?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay, there you go.
Fancy schmancies over here, dude.
Fight on, yo.
So you go to Michigan State to do entertainment. Like, you major in journalism, or did you know you want to do entertainment reporting? Because again,
no, I did not know I wanted to do entertainment reporting. I knew I wanted to be a journalist, and before I went to state, you had to kind of pre-declare like a major, which is horrible. I mean, you're asking 16, 17-year-old kids to predict how they're going to spend like the next 5 decades of their life.
Right. Well, they say the average college student changes their major 7 times.
They do.
That's a real thing.
I didn't do that, but I get why that would. I just was like, I'm committed. I took, mass media introduction. I may as well stick this out, I guess. No, but, I thought I wanted to study theater, actually, and my dad wanted to know how I was going to afford to live not at home with my parents with a theater degree. And I was like, okay, I'll do journalism. And then, of course, he was like, again, how are you going to self-sustain as an adult with a journalism degree? But my mom was like, I should probably go to law school. That obviously did not happen. She clearly did not know me at that point. No, but I thought maybe I would kind of be a news reporter. I loved chasing ambulances. I mean, it's always exciting when you're like 18 and you're covering like death and mayhem and destruction, or like apathetic, campus policies, or students or whatever's happening at the time. And then I got really seduced into specialty reporting because my best friend at the time decided that she wanted to be a sports reporter. My best friend, she ended up being an anchor at ESPN, and she left. A little over a year ago now, Jemele Hill, and she's like now
Jemele's the
conquering the world.
Yeah.
I know,
You
right?
said that like we weren't going to know who that
Well,
was.
I never know. I never know.
She's a great follow too.
Well, she is, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to text her like, "Yo, what?
She's great.
I can't retweet that."
Yeah.
Still have a job. You're freewheeling it, but I gotta maintain. But yeah, no. So
Is she gonna run for president?
She should, right?
Mm-hmm.
She should run for something.
Yeah.
What's funny is like, I mean, who she is right now is who she's always been. Like even when we were teenagers, she just has a larger audience. Yeah. But it's cool because she's been very like constant, you know. And so she was a really great person to meet at the point where I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do in life, because she got me to thinking about how I wanted to study theater before I went to college. And I was like, well, I don't want to be a sports reporter, even though it's funny that I work for ESPN now. I was like, I don't want to be a sports reporter. But I do want to cover entertainment. I did like the live theater, so maybe that's something I can kind of combine the two loves. And so that's what I did.
That's awesome. I like that became like... Because when I was in college, I didn't have an advisor, and my parents were like, "We know what you're going to do. You've been talking about since you were going to do since you were 10 years old."
What did you study, Josh?
I was business logistics, international business.
Oh my God!
Clearly using that right now. Supply chain management. I'm considered a logistician, Kelly. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I can pack a suitcase like you wouldn't believe. But
so many questions for a different show.
Yeah, but I mean, I always think that the mentors in your life, the people that like push you in a direction, it has such an unbelievable effect as to like what you do. Because when you were growing up in Detroit, or you're growing and you're at Michigan State, you're on a red carpet in Los Angeles. Like the way those falls, like one little thing that just kind of pushed you in one direction. It's pretty amazing.
And changes the course of everything.
Yeah.
Because even when I decided I was going to be an entertainment reporter, I started off working in Detroit, and I thought I would be covering theater because that's what I love to do. But then this like blonde-haired white boy named Marshall Mathers gets a national record deal, and all of us, like literally right as I started working in Detroit, and all of a sudden Detroit's music scene is being paid attention to in a way that it hadn't been since Berry Gordy left. You know what I mean? So all of a sudden, like, even as I was writing for our local newspaper, I was, oh my God, my editor at the time is actually a good friend of mine. So if he watches this, he's going to learn this. I wrote under a pen name for Rolling Stone because Rolling Stone magazine had reached out to me because everyone wanted to know.
Famous.
Yeah, I mean, I know, and this was right around the time that was happening too.
Awesome.
But they all wanted to know about like Eminem and D12 and Insane Clown Posse and kind of Obi Trice, all of these acts that were, and Kid Rock, all these acts that were coming out of Detroit. And so they reached out to me to freelance, and because I didn't want to ask for permission, and because I didn't want to say no, and because, quite frankly, someone else who had freelanced for Rolling Stone freelanced for someone without asking for permission got reprimanded for it.
Permission from who?
Like from our newspaper.
Oh.
To work. And I was like, well, not going to say no to this check and not going to say no to this opportunity.
And Rolling Stone.
We're just going to go with my grandmother's maiden name
and
make this happen.
That's amazing.
So it was like a really cool, so sorry, Steve, but
badass, Kelley Carter,
I know,
badass.
That's awesome.
But it was really cool. And
but
it was
you didn't need the recognition? You didn't feel like at that time you wanted to have, I mean, what a massive opportunity to have your name everywhere.
I know. I wasn't thinking about that because I wasn't thinking about platform at the time. At the time, I was such, and I still am in a lot of ways, such a company woman, where I'm always like, I'm the corporate representative. Like I can. You're an HR dream. Yeah, I mean, truly, yes, truly. So my best friend, maybe not, but so I was always thinking about how I was going to best represent whatever media outlet I was working for. It's only now that I've been thinking about platform and what that means. And it's been a great last year and a half, which I think culminated probably in, hosting the Lion King premiere.
So how did that? What was the approach like? And then, because, listen, we all have a theory that there is somebody in your ear telling you about certain people, and that somebody blamed the producer that told them that person was Kobe Smulders or Evangeline Lilly. Is that what we're getting, or are you just an absolute pro?
Both are pro. Both are very pro.
Yeah, I mean, there is someone in your ear, but they're not telling you like what to ask or what direction. And in fact, like a few minutes before we started, I was like, "Hey, so like anything in particular you want me to ask? Any direction?" Because I hadn't even thought about it because that premiere was literally at the same time of all of the ESPY stuff.
Yeah.
So I had just rushed from doing like some interviews for ESPN and then to the red carpet for the Lion King, and I hadn't even thought about what I would be asking people. And they were like, "Nah, just whatever." And I was like, okay. And again, I'm the only host because normally they have like five or six or two people.
Yeah.
Like for the Avengers stuff, they have like five or six people. Yeah. But like for the other big Disney films, it's like two people. And I was like, okay, so I'm also doing this by myself.
Were you nervous?
Breaks. No, I didn't even have time to think about it at that point. I was just like, well, here we are. Let's put on for Detroit. Let's make this happen, everybody. But yeah, so you have someone that's saying like, hey, coming up, we're going to try and grab like Alfre Woodard, or we're going to try and grab, Donald Glover or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. But then you don't necessarily, that doesn't mean that person is coming to you right then and there.
Realistically, do you think the girl that called Kobe Smulders Evangeline Lilly, that somebody said to her, we're about to grab Evangeline Lilly, and they grabbed Kobe Smulders, and that's why she said that? Obviously, you don't know for sure.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I don't think that would have happened, though. Because remember, and you guys know this, these people are walking with handlers, and when you're doing a live show, they're talking to a producer on the ground, and they're saying, hey, we want to grab you for like the Disney red carpet, and you know who their client is, or they're coming earlier and telling you like, hey, I'm going to be bringing Beyonce by, or whatever. Like, can I bring her up on stage for this interview? So, I mean, I suppose a flub could have happened, but that definitely has not been my experience. And I don't have a lot doing live red carpet interviews. I did one the next day at the ESPYs, which I was like, well, this is a piece of cake. I have like, I have a co-host I can kick to, and I don't have to think about, like Beyonce. Granted, I don't really know a lot of who these athletes are, but I mean, I can ask you a couple fun questions at the ESPYs.
I did a live stream for Twitch of a celebrity basketball game where I knew like 4 of the players. And I had to fill 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was,
and he couldn't see the court.
And he couldn't really see the court.
Oh my God.
I was like, that looks like Quavo and that looks like 2 Chainz, I think. And this is as far as I can see. Kelley Carter, you're amazing. It was really fantastic to have you here. Please come back. We'd love to have you.
Anytime.
Talk some
poor
movies,
Christian, I can't believe he missed it. He's such a fan.
He told me he would really love to meet you in person and sit down for even a longer talk and get into some of the nonsense of the show and just have you join in.
Anytime. I have to tell you that the compliments you guys paid me in that show and that Christian paid me meant so much to me. Like, that was probably one of the nicest things I've ever heard anybody say, like, in my life. So thank you guys so much for that.
Well, it meant a lot for us, for you to come in here, and thank you for being awesome.
Thank
you. I can't wait to see you on more red carpets. And again, please come back again. You're fantastic.
Absolutely. And I'll be on time, too, next time.
This has been Collider Live for a Tuesday, July 30th. I'm Josh Macuga, Roxy Striar, Mark Reilly, Kelley Carter, Kelleyl Carter on Twitter.
Yeah.
Cody in the booth. Alex, way to eat that protein bar. You really took one for the team.
It's still disgusting.
Really appreciate it.
Also, I'm so excited about our guests tomorrow. I'm just going to tease that now. I'm very excited. We have the director and writers, their duo from Peanut Butter Falcon, which is that movie I've been telling you guys about with Shia LaBeouf and Dakota Johnson. It is so good, and they have crazy stories about how they actually got that off the ground. Yeah. I can't wait for them to be here.
Incredible. Awesome. Get to Schmodown. Get those Schmodown tickets, guys. In Arizona, the Wild Berries will be there. Thank you guys for listening, for watching, however you're ingesting. Mark Reilly, Collider Live. We will see you all tomorrow.